Marcus Garvey was the first black man to come into this country and get a mass movement, an allegiance, support of the masses of black people. Why? Because Garvey didn't care what the white man thought. Garvey didn't care how the white man felt. Garvey had the feelings of the black man at heart. Garvey had the hopes and aspirations of the black man at heart. And the black masses detected this. They felt this. They were conscious of this. So they gave Garvey their support. And anyone today who can get a following among the masses of black people in this country is immediately labeled by the United States government as un-American, as seditious, as subversive, as Marcus Garvey was labeled un-American, as seditious and subversive. Any black man who has the true intention of solving the problem of the masses of black people in this country, the government itself will try and trick that man and trap that man and frame that man. And usually he'll do it by these Uncle Tom Negro leaders whom the government has set up. The Negro intellectual was against Garvey. The Negro professional was against Garvey because Garvey represented the black man.
Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own to make ourselves free men. Our great scholars have inspired through the colleges and universities have thrown away the blessed record. Babylon did it. Assyria did it. France under Napoleon did it. Germany under Prince von Bismarck did it. England under America under George Washington did it. Africa with 400 million black people can do it. If you cannot do it, if you are not prepared to do it, then you will die.
Yeah, check it out, check it out.
Locked in.
Yeah, check it. Hot damn black America again. Think of Sandra Bland as I'm staring in the wind. The color of my skin, they comparing it to sin. The darker it gets, the less fairer it has been. The hate made, I inherited from them. But I ain't gonna point the finger. We got anointed singers like Nina, Marvin, Billy, Stevie. Need to hear them songs. Sometimes to believe me, who freed me? Lincoln a Cadillac, drinking a battle raps. Or is it Godspeed that we travel at? Endangered in our own habitats. Them guns and dope, man. Y'all can have it back. As a matter of fact, we them lab rats. You built the projects for, now you want your hood back. I guess if you could rap, you would express it too. That PTSD, we need professionals. You know what pressure do. It makes the pipes bust from schools to prison, y'all. They trying to pipe us to your political parties and fight us instead of making voting laws to spite us. You know, we from a family of fighters, fought in your wars and our wars. You put a nigga in Star Wars, maybe you need two. And then maybe then we'll believe you. See black people in the future. We wasn't shipped here to rob and shoot ya. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women are created equal, including black Americans. Yeah, that's black America again. I'm gonna do another verse for me. Check it out, from the same thing, Check it out, keep that beat rolling, yo. We go, here we go. Here we go again. Trayvon will never get to be an older man. Black children, they childhood stole from them. Robbed of our names and our language. Stole again. Who stole the soul from black folk? Same man that stole the land from cheap black smoke and made the whip crackle on our back slow. Made us go through the back door and raffle black bodies on the slave blocks. Now we slave to the blocks, cause on them we spray shots. Leaving our own to lay in a box. Black mother stomach staying or not. We kill each other more than the cops. I wish the hating would stop. We are at war and a battle with us. I know that black lives matter. Do they matter to us? These are the things we gotta discuss. The new plantation, mass incarceration. Instead of educate, they rather convict the kids. As dirty as the water in Flint the system is. Is it a felony? Or a misdemeanor? Maria Sharapova making more than Serena. It took Viola Davis to say this. The roles of the help and the gangsters is really all they gave us. We need Avas, Ta-Nehisi's, and Cory Bookers. The salt of the earth to get us off of sugar and greasy foods. I don't believe the news or radio stereotypes we refuse. Brainwashed in the psycho to spin. We write our own story, Black America again.
I just got back from Flint. Yeah, that Flint. I saw that dirty water with my own eyes. But not to my surprise, Governor Snyder, you're not much of a provider, 'cause Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. The children up there are sick. The lead in the water is thick. Flint ain't fixed.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast. What's going on, Tracy? Pro-Black Perspective, my brother Oni, Learning Curve, the Revolutionary Matron. Shouts out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming through. YouTube took my last two shows down, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna try it one more time. And I, just because on the last show, I think I said, I think it was important information that I think should stay up there. I know they took it down because I was playing like the Get Out movie, but I'm gonna go through it again real quick, and then we gonna go to something else, So if you want to come on, what I'm saying, definitely let me know. But first and foremost, I gotta say, shouts out to Erica, what I'm saying. I hope Erica get better real quick, you know what I'm saying, and hopefully she could be back in the chat room here with us, and Bakari get a chance. Hopefully he can come on, and kind of talk about it, what I'm saying, because it's definitely something that we need to talk about, and the experience that we have, and I'm gonna just say, it's important that we have our own Black doctors and all of this kind of stuff, because no matter all the stuff that I show and all the stuff that we talk about, what I'm saying, the most important thing is like the people that you care about, what I'm saying. And I know for me, the thing that, really why we should be willing to do all the things that we got to do, is like, when my mom goes to the doctor, what I'm saying, like to get a checkup and all of that stuff. And so many Black women tell me this, and Black men don't even go to the doctor at all. You know what I mean? But, when my mom goes, they don't even check her blood pressure or any of that kind of stuff. And, what I'm saying, and she got diabetes. And then it's just too many of us, having to take shots and stuff like that, and our health is the most important thing, what I'm saying? And controlling our own environment, whether you mad at anybody or not, what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to that, that's enough motivation for me to, do what we got to do, because like for me, I don't know like what else it takes. That's the thing that we should be mad about. And that's like, of course, like the cop shootings and all of that stuff, and I talk about it because, people get united for 10 minutes over that, but that's the thing that really should be pissing us off, the amount of our loved ones that's like dying from at a young age, and 50, 60 is a young age compared to the lives that we could be living. And then, so many of my brothers and sisters, I'm saying, my peoples, my age, brothers, and they, my homie, I'm saying, I got a shout out to my brother Marlo. It's been like a year now, that was my homie, and he was like in his 50s, but his poor health and the decisions that he made, in his life, it caught up with him. But of course he couldn't get the best health and the best care. So all of that kind of stuff is important, what I'm saying. And like, Tanzan was saying the other day, we talk a whole lot of stuff, but it's time for us to take action and do these kind of things so we can be prepared when our people is in these situations. You know what I'm saying? And also, I got a shout out to Tanzan, who gave me extra motivation. and I got to get back on these meetings and stuff because we talking about building, you know, of course on here we do what we do on here, but you know, me and Bakari have been trying for a long time, you know, and I'm gonna get back on it. I'm gonna keep going. I just don't think sometimes it's not the right time to do it, but like, you know, we try to hold these meetings so we can discuss business, you know, try to make money for ourselves, try to fund businesses and do all of these things that's important, you know. And you know, just for an example, you know, like my sister Blue, you know, shouts out to Blue. And hopefully she gonna come back on here soon, you know. But shouts out to Blue, you know. She was talking about something called the birthday challenge, you know, and that's when whoever wants to be involved, you know, and there are things that's like, you know, man, like supporting like our businesses and stuff like that. But you know, this particular thing, you don't have to be involved, but you can be, you know. And on everybody who's involved is like on somebody else's birthday, you put in $5, you know, and depending on how many people is involved, yo, we did it last year, yo, Bakari, Guy, me, Blue, Erica Howard, you know, we all did this you know, the birthday challenge. And so on your birthday, everybody puts in and you get that back, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to put in like $5 or whatever, you know, if you want to be a part of the birthday challenge, you know, on somebody's birthday, you put in 5, they put in, everybody who's involved put up 5, you know, and then on your birthday, you get it, you know. And that's just, you know, one of the things that we're trying to do because, you know, like we were saying earlier, it's important to build trust and to have these relationships, but really it's just business. Cause like, and I'm gonna steal this from You Learn the Curve, the Revolutionary Matron, because this is one of the deepest things, you know, you and Anthony Jones. Anthony Jones said, yo, we like the only group of people that have been enslaved 2 times. Peace, Tanzan. You know, I was just talking about, you know, the meeting thing. We got to get back serious. So we got to find better ways. And you know, I'm gonna get up on that app. I forget, you know, but yeah, but when we have you know, when we have these things, you know, we trying to unite and put our stuff together. Hold up one second. But yeah, Anthony Jones said, you know, we've been enslaved 2 times in the last 1,000 years. Like, and that's a true statement. Bakari will come in and say 3 times, 3 times. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy to me. And then Revolutionary Matron, that was something deep, you know what I'm saying? And it shows that it can be done though, you know. You said um we go to somebody else's job. Not everybody works. I get it. But the majority of us, and we cannot talk about our divisions, whether I'm Pan-African, whether you African. We putting aside our Christianity, our Muslim, to work for somebody else for 8, 12, 14, 16 hours a day. And you telling me that you cannot do that because you want to be in control of your own destiny. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we put our divisions aside to be working for somebody else? And we don't even do that for us, which would show you why we in this situation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I gotta shout out to the Revolutionary Matron for that one. That was real talk right there. And shouts out to Tanzan for the motivation earlier. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Erica, you know, so definitely you know, give her your good energy. Hopefully she'll be back in the chat room here with us in no time. Hopefully Bakari can come on. I'm gonna put him on the spot and see if we want to talk about it. But you know, there's a lot of issues that gotta be addressed, and this is like real life because like this kind of stuff is going to hit home, you know, one day, sooner or later. Is you can't escape it, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not in control of your own facilities, that's a problem. But okay, so first and foremost, Tanzan, you know, and other people, I got to shout out to my sister Matilda who put in shouts out to Raw. But I wanted to show y'all hold on, let me see the fundraiser that's going on now, you know. And this is why I want to talk to everybody who, and I'm not sure if people getting the email or not. Maybe it don't, because I'm responding to the link here because I don't really get your information when you do that. So I don't have everybody's email. I have a few people email. And what I want to talk about is like what we're going to do, You know what I'm saying? Because obviously you see here, you know what I'm saying? And shouts out to Tanzan for earlier for the motivation, you know what I'm saying? And you know, maybe we can. I'm gonna keep going and doing everything that I can, you know what I'm saying, to help out with the water thing. And I guess to help some of y'all sleep soundly at night, there's been some John Browns who went down there and helped a few people. But yeah, like people have to pay for their own you know, septic tanks. And you know, it's not even about, because it don't have to be money. If you can do time, if you're a plumber, you know what I'm saying, that would be great. That would save us money. If you know a way that we can get like 4 people off this what we building. But right now the estimate, you know what I'm saying, when you look at the story, they be like, yo, because the clay is like clay soil down there. The dirt is like, that's what they're saying, you know, it's hard to treat it. And I'm gonna play the video next time. I'm not gonna do it today, but yeah, I definitely want to put this out here. But yeah, if you can if you're a plumber or you know how to you know what I'm saying, like, yo, because maybe we can get 2 people off one, maybe we can get 4 people off one. It depends on however we do it. But you know, it's just putting our stuff together. And for the people, because I don't even get into the FBA, you know, Pan-African argument, you know, and but this is America, you know what I'm saying? And for Pan-Africans, this is black people in America, you know what I'm saying? This is why I'm like, you know, I think this is just an argument that we have to avoid dealing with the real issues that we have, you know. But there has been some other people that put in septic tanks as ways that you can donate other than this, you know. And like, look, because I'm gonna have to go down there, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to buy a plane ticket, go all the way down there, you know, and put my own money in this, and I put a couple hundred in this, you know. So I'm gonna have to go all the way down there anyway, you know. But yeah, I definitely want to talk to y'all to see what y'all want to do, if we can how we want to politic. So shouts out to Matilda who suggested you know, emergency funds. Like, so we just, when we in a situation, you know what I'm saying, we have this emergency fund, and I get it's politics on how we gonna use it and all of that, but we'll come up with that. But that's the point of us meeting and having these conversations, you know what I'm saying? And you know, so shouts out to her, and shouts out to Tanzan who feel like, you know, we can keep going. Maybe there's a way we can do it. I said to the end of August, you know, so I'm gonna give it to the end of August. Yeah, facts, Tracy. This is the last time. We got to learn our lesson. Yo, brother Bakari. Yo, I was saying, bro, I don't know if you got my text. I was going to put you on the spot. I don't know if you want to put that on blast or not, or just talk about the, you know, importance of black doctors and stuff. And anybody who want to come on, because I'm about to go into what I was sharing, because it goes to what I was talking about with the water crisis. And it's just crazy what's going on out here. And like I said, man, this is my disclaimer. I don't know what's real, what's not. I just know, I know what's real to us. Yo, Tassetti Warrior, what's up? It's been a minute, bro. My bad, I just seen you. So I'm putting the link in the chat. All right, so on the last one, and I was getting to like the water crisis. Because like I said, man, this stuff is going on. And I was wrong, Bakari. Last time I said Jackson, Alabama, and there is a such place, but it was Jackson, Mississippi. So that's why you probably want to come on and talk about this too, you know. But I'm gonna definitely put you on the spot if you want to talk about, you know, that whole situation. You know, put that out there for everybody to maybe do that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna do it though. But I'm gonna, you know, be a part of what you're saying. Yo, what up, Bakari? Make me do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna do it though. But hey, Bakari, I'm gonna, you know, be a part of what you're saying. Yo, what up, Bakari? Bakari having the old man.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Tanzan, Money Way New Tanzan, Peace on it, Learning Curve, Trace Stunt, and everybody else. If I didn't say your name, don't blame it on my heart, blame it on my brain. But peace to everybody. Yeah, I saw you putting that link in there, and I know what you was talking about. Let me give out an update on our sister Erica Howard. She says she have to go back. She's gonna have to go back to the hospital. She's gonna have a procedure with her foot that need to be done. And I don't know about this. If anybody know any information who we can call about doctors, and this is a one that I'm gonna do on my channel, and I'm gonna mention Erica and a lady named Truth Teller about what they're going through, what she went through, and what Erica's going through. The procedure that need to be done, Erica say her foot is actually turning different colors and she's in pain. But the doctor who she was supposed to see refused to see her because she missed an appointment back in 2018, and she was supposed to be in the hospital today preparing for this procedure, and the doctor refused to see her. So I can put the name. I will put that doctor name and number, and we can all call and check. And I don't know who we need to call and what we need to do, but I know something can be done about that. And if anybody interested in want to know the name or something like that, so we can call whoever here it is we got to call. If y'all know who to call, let's do that. And while we keep sending positive energy and prayers and everything else our sister way.
Yeah, and Bukario, and let me say this real quick. And if anybody do know what we can do, if there's like action that you can do, I want you to come on here and like say it, you know. But yo, that's the thing that like pisses me off, like, cause a lot of times I'd be like, yo, you try to think of what can you do other than the suicide mission, what can you really do? Like, it gotta be a way we can start, you know, levying something to make sure this stop happening. And this is the thing that really, you know what I'm saying, pisses me off, to like make sure like I would never give up, you know what I'm saying? Because like, yo, you know, like I was saying earlier about my mom, you know, she go to the doctor, she a diabetic, and then, you know, they don't even check her blood pressure or nothing, you know, before like, you know, it's telling her, you know, pretty much just like, yeah, oh, you're good, get up out of here, you know what I'm saying? And then so many of my friends, like, yo, I got a homegirl who's like my age who passed away like a year ago, you know, who had medical conditions, and yeah, she like was in the like kind of fell victim to like the streets, and that's not to like make, you know, whatever, but yo, it's the medical treatment that she was telling me that she was getting is like, yo, it's real. Like, that's what's be pissing me off, because like people that we care about is really like in trouble, you know. But yeah, Bakari, you wanted to say something though?
Yep, they are in trouble. That's why I have to get everything in order. So, like I said, you know who Truth Teller is, so she can come on and tell what she's been through with racism and bigotry in these hospitals. Our sister Erica is going through. Now think about it. We just a few people. Just if we know two people that's going through this or been through this, just imagine how many black people is actually going through this, right? This is another example to show how bad we actually need our own doctors. This is another example to show how bad that when we see our youth in our community with talent, right? How we should have no problem supporting our youth with talent. And when I'm saying talent, not just athletic talent, academic talent. We should be supporting them and teaching them at a young age why they should make sure they never leave their own people. We should be in touch more, and maybe I should call, maybe this is something I would do tomorrow. Contact Meharry Medical College, the black college in I know it's in a different state in Tennessee, but it's an HBCU medical school, Meharry Medical College. You know, that's the one I was telling you about that was creating the vaccine strictly for black people. So that's what we have to do. These are some things we got to do. We have to do this. We gonna do this or die. Do or die. We gonna either start doing or we just gonna die. It's just that simple. I give the mic. What's up, Learning Curve, the revolutionary matrix?
Yo, what up,
Greetings,
Learning Curve? Thank you for coming
greetings.
on.
Thank you for having me. I'm free tonight. So how you doing? How you guys doing tonight?
We good. Hey, before you go in, because like I saw what you put in the chat. Before you go in, I want to say one thing to you, Learning Curve. I saw this thing on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? But it seemed kind of true to me. It said the doctors are to black women what the police is to black men.
Yes, they are. I have a personal story. When I was 23 years old, so this was the year 2000, um, I went into the hospital because I had unexplained chest pains and I didn't know if I was having a heart attack or what. And they asked me 30 times, did I do cocaine and was I taking any illegal drugs? Come to find out, I really have a rare condition where I have arthritis that flares up over my heart and it feels like I'm having a heart attack. But they left me there in pain because they felt like I was a drug addict and they refused to help me or run any tests. So, yes, medical apartheid is real. We have Black women that die each and every day bringing new life into this world because they feel like we don't need the drugs, we don't need the help, we can figure it out. We have people every day suffering, whether it's sickle cell anemia or viral diseases because they don't pay attention to us because, oh, we're just complaining. I even knew an African American doctor that was a woman that felt like in her position, she had the right to render judgments on whether or not she would treat people or not. And so this is something that's been going on in the medical field for a very long time. Doctors kick patients out of their practice when they don't want to deal with it. They kick patients out of their practice for monetary reasons. They kick patients out of their practice for dumb stuff like missing appointments or not being as current on the bill as they want you to be on the bill. They kick patients out of their practice because they feel like they can't really have a success story. There was a doctor years ago that refused to do a life saving surgery on a woman because he didn't feel like he would succeed. And another doctor took the case and was successful, and she's living a thriving, blessed life today. But they do this all the time to Black women, but to black people largely, but Black women especially.
Yeah, facts. And black men don't even go to the doctor like that, you know?
Hey, I got a story, right? Go ahead, Tanzan. What's going on, Tanzan?
Yo, peace, Tanzan.
Peace, Brother Bakari, Lady Matron, Focused. How's everybody?
Good, good. Shouts out to you.
Good, good.
All right. I'm just listening. I know Brother Bakari had a story, so I like stories. So I listen.
Okay, look, I remember when I got shot, right? I would have to go, of course, I had to go to the doctor, right? So I'm in there. It's this hospital here in Atlanta called Grady. It's supposed to be the best trauma unit in the United States, right? And when I go into Grady, the only thing, like Matron said, the only thing they kept asking was, do you do cocaine? Do you do cocaine? Because my heart rate. I'm like, dude, what the hell you think? I literally got the organ. I say, I know y'all crackers see me as a N-word. I say, but that ain't me. What you gonna do is you gonna do your effing job. Don't worry about that. But you know what? They told me, they said they didn't think they could stop the bleeding. So since they didn't think they could stop the bleeding, they didn't do anything. They didn't even do anything to try to stop the bleeding. I literally just stopped bleeding on my own and I never bled since. When they gave me stitches, they didn't deaden me. I had like 13 stitches, because when I was shot and robbed or whatever. I no nothing to stop the pain. Which me, I'm a little crazy, right? That was some people say anyway, right? So at that moment when I first felt it, after the first couple went in there, and I'm like, well, it became like a challenge to me. And I told them they didn't deaden it, and I didn't want them to deaden it at that point because I just wanted to see how my threshold for pain was. But anyway, that ain't how I wanted it to start. But anyway, the only thing those doctors kept asking me was, how much cocaine? You do cocaine. You do cocaine. Like, man, what the hell they got to do with anything, dude? First of all, I don't do cocaine, but what the hell they got to do with anything, dude? It's your job to save my life. You have a job. Your job is to save my life. And they completely, they really didn't give a damn. They never did anything, man. I just stopped bleeding on my own. The hole in my back never, ever, it never stopped. It means that it stopped, but they didn't stop it. It stopped on its own. And it healed basically on its own. They didn't do anything but send me a big ass bill. I hear the mic.
Yeah, hey, and yo, and last year, like last May, yo, my dad got into a real bad car accident, and he went to this place called MCV, you know what I'm saying, which is it's really a college place, but they put the catheter in the wrong place, you know what I'm saying, like they did a lot of stuff wrong to where he went to a different facility, you know what I'm saying, they had to change a lot of stuff, but yeah, what's up, Tanzan? You wanted to jump in?
No, I think, you Milton said it all. The police, the doctors are the police, the medical police. So yeah.
Yeah, facts. And before we move on, Bakari, I want you to say one more time about that doctor, what you trying to do, and I want to ask kind of matron, too, like after Bakari done, like what do you think that like what could be done with, or any suggestions that you might got.
Yeah, I have a name. If anybody want a name and number, because Erica,
Well, if it's cool to put it out there, I say put it out there. But if it's not cool, don't do it.
Erica sent it to she sent it to me. Uh she sent it to me so I could so I know the name. And I was just wondering, can we call anybody? Is it anything, what we can do to make this what can we do if we can put her on blast or anything? Because how you gonna turn down somebody who needs a medical procedure? That's what you do for a living, but you're gonna turn it down because they missed an appointment 2 years ago. That doesn't make sense to me. That really does not make sense to me. So, I hear the mic.
Well, they have credentialing boards and they have boards of ethics, but for the past, I would say 7 years, I've seen higher instances of doctors having what they call office work rules and different reasons why they will stop treating a patient and won't help a patient. Usually they're surrounded around economic situations where it's like, you missed an appointment and they were supposed to bill, or you missed an appointment and you didn't cancel within the time frame, or if you cancel too many appointments. Like they have a lot of these office work rules. But I would suggest writing to the licensing board with your complaints, because why are they, or I would suggest letter writing campaigns. That it be, and even if it's a standard form letter with different signatures on it, or it's just how you understand the situation, because it's not going to help Erica, but it's going to help stop this practice. And honestly, unless that's the only doctor that does that procedure, at the point that they turn me down, I wouldn't want to force my way into their office, because your life is in their hands.
Well,
And
I
they
don't.
do.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Oh
sorry.
no, that's okay. I was just gonna say, and they do dirty, underhanded stuff, because there's a lot of ways to make a person's life miserable. Um, when you when you understand how the human body works, and it's a lot of ways that they can make your life miserable, and it's not malpractice. Malpractice is one of the hardest cases to prove. So I yield the mic.
Yeah, that's the revolutionary matron, Bakari.
I don't think we're trying to force our way. I don't think she'll be trying to force her way in there now. I think they want to put the doctor on like blast for saying, I can't do this because you missed an appointment. Erica said the reason that the lady told her because you missed an appointment in 2018.
Oh, well, I would go to the okay. I just wanted to make sure. I would go to the news and I would write a letter to the local newspaper because they always looking for a juicy story to tell. I would write a letter to the health board. I would write a letter to whoever holds their license, the licensing agency. I would write letters to the membership associations in that area. I would write a letter to you can find out where doctors graduated from or where they did their residency. I would write and I would take that one letter and I would send it to all those different people and I would call the local news station.
Yep, she said that's what she was told. Because Erica, and now she's an amputee, and now they're thinking that, and she want to have a procedure on the other foot. And she said she's in so much pain, like her prosthetic and everything. She can't even walk on nothing. She's in her house, moving around in the battery in the wheelchair, the motor wheelchair. That's how much pain that she's in. And like that woman just told her we can't do anything because you missed an appointment in 2018.
See, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, like, how can there not be no repercussions? Like we can like not go to them, but we also don't have our own stuff. Like, and yo, that's what pisses me off. Like when they do you dirty, like you can't even do nothing about it. Like, yo, how is that sitting right with us? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, to me, that's don't sit right with me. But in Tanzania, you wanted to add anything?
I was just thinking how it's a shame that it's the only option that we have. That we used to have, just homemade remedies and things that I'm not saying that everything has a homemade remedy, but at least we had some things that you didn't have to go to the doctor all the time. There was always somebody who knew a local plant or concoction or something for you to take. But unfortunately, even for the smallest thing, even if you sprain your ankle, even just the dressing wounds, there was a time when people knew how to do basic care of themselves. If they got hurt, you knew how to dress a wound, maybe put a tourniquet and all that. But we're so solely dependent on them that for every small thing we have to rely on them. But that's the situation. I would say also exercise your choice of second opinion if that's possible. For example, if a certain doctor professional is not doing their job, also report them, just like with the police. You can always take the case to the board. You can write to the administration of the hospital and really find out exactly what kind of a person is treating you, especially if they have you have a bad experience with them. But also seek maybe I don't know about most plans, but usually you can change your doctor, or you can try another doctor. But that's also another thing. And then take all your medical reports and ask them, like, somebody, this doctor told me this and that, do you agree or disagree? And yeah, just pit them against each other and see what they say, because sometimes if they know that you're shopping around for advice, they'll maybe be a little more better at it. Not guaranteed, but also just to show them that we might be dependent on the system, but you're not dependent on one single person. You have options. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, yeah. And all right, so let me say this. Amani, Bit of Medicine podcast, Habari, my brother. Um, and shouts out to a Bit of Medicine podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe to everybody on here, Bakari, Tanzan, Matron, you know what I'm saying? And so we could talk about this like for a whole show, and shouts out to Erica or whatever, and like definitely we hoping that she get better. And this is definitely a reason why we because like I had a because there's definitely black doctors out there, and I want to say this, there's definitely black doctors out there, but the problem is like how many doctors are black first or black only, as Tanzan would say. Um there's not many. And then I was going to a black dentist, you know what I'm saying? There was a black woman, and I can't get mad at her, but like she like just like, I didn't get the jab, so she didn't let me come back in her office, you know. So like I can respect that though, you know, because that's just her decision, you know. So like but you know, there are plenty of black doctors out there who do good jobs. She do a good job, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely got to say that there are black doctors out there, because people don't say that enough. And our children definitely need to get into science and all of these medical fields, and you know, the fields to cure stuff, and to the fields to invent stuff, you know. So it's definitely important for our children to know that, you know, it's okay to be a doctor. It's okay to, you know what I'm saying, be a scientist, or, you know, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying, is okay, you know. So we're gonna move on, but y'all got any last words on that one?
We also have to find ways to fund these children. We need to have organizations, membership organizations, or mutual funds or something so that we can fund these children, because there are a lot of brilliant Black children that don't have the money to go to college, that don't have the ability to take on debt. Or if they do take on that debt, they're taking on that debt and they still have to work a job because they have to cover living expenses. Now, I'm not saying we have to offset their entire cost of living yet, but we should be able to in the coming future. But we need to be able to also give them something to incentivize them, to let them be able to go and get the skills that we need in our community and bring that back.
All facts, all facts. All right, so we're gonna move on, because I think Learning Curve saw the last show, but they took it down, so a lot of people ain't see it. So I want to go through it. I don't have much to say, but I definitely want y'all to talk. So anytime I'm playing anything, I want y'all to be like, "Yo, stop right there! I got something to say." Y'all definitely speak up, because I want to hear what all of y'all got to say. And last time, Bakar, you came on for a second. I know you was in and out. I said it was Jackson, Alabama. It was actually Jackson, Mississippi. So I was wrong on that. And it is a such place as Jackson, Alabama, but it was Jackson, Mississippi when I was talking about that. And because me and Tanzan was talking earlier about you know, like things we could do to try to help with the like water campaign for Lawrence County. You know what I'm saying? And I know Tanzan is on now, so let me show her real quick, and then I'm gonna go into the so this is where we at right now, you know what I'm saying? Where we at. And I still got more I could put to it, you know, but like I said, I still have to get down there to make sure everything is good. And hopefully Bakari can meet me down there. Erica will be better. She can meet us down there. And whoever want to meet us down there, because people like, yo, they want to meet us, you know, so we could go do that. And you know, that's another part of the meetings too. So but anyway, so this is what I showed last time. Um what's going on in Jackson right now, Mississippi.
Been an ongoing issue in Jackson for years, but now another water infrastructure issue is raising concern in several areas. That is raw sewage.
And like I said, I'm gonna play the video in this segment, and y'all tell me to stop when to stop, because I was speaking on it last time, you know.
Sewage backing up into neighborhoods.
Yeah, 12 News' Leah Williams has more on what the city is doing to fix this issue. Leah?
Byron Mayor Shokwe Antar Lumumba says frustrated residents have been calling City Hall for days, reporting raw sewage leaks backing up inside and near their homes. The mayor says the city has been sending crews out to get rid of the raw sewage, but says a long-term fix is in the works. He says the city has been approved for a low-interest loan through the Environmental Protection Agency that will be used to replace nearly all of the sewer lines in the Queens Magnolia Trace and Country Club neighborhoods. These plans are still in the works, but the mayor says developers are about 60% complete with the planning stages and are looking to start construction next year.
Hear their concerns.
The mayor, I can't say his name properly.
Straight. Ain't nothing like his daddy. Is nothing like his daddy. His daddy was a strong Pan-African mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. One of the greatest speeches his daddy ever gave when his daddy ran for mayor. They had a city council election coming up, and his daddy got the mic and spoke and said, "This city is 80% black. Better not nobody vote for a white person," and dropped the mic. He's nothing like his daddy. This stuff he has bowed down a little bit. He's nothing like his daddy. But in Jackson, Mississippi, with Dion and other things going there, the little city is starting to grow. And this is the only state I've ever heard of. They don't want to do anything for Jackson because the state of Mississippi said Jackson don't need a mayor or a city council. It's starting to grow. The state of Mississippi, the governor and his people should be over Jackson, Mississippi. There's a lot of reasons they doing, and Jackson is also the capital of New Africa. And I get Mike.
Yeah, kind of coincidence. Like a lot of that black town, and I think it was North Carolina. Same thing with Lawrence County. I'm sorry, brother Bakari. But yeah, uh, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Unless Tanzania learning curve got anything to say.
You know, there are no accidents or mistakes. They don't want to give Black people power. We live in a country where local power is supposed to matter because of states' rights, city rights, county rights, township rights. But they don't want to cede power to Black people because once they see how them budgets work and once they get into those positions and you got somebody that's got a really strong pro-Black mind doing things, that city will thrive. So no, they don't want it to happen. Not there.
Can I say one more? I'm sorry, you gonna go Tanzania? I'm sorry.
Now go ahead, Brother Bakari.
I mean, and another thing, right? A lot of these people that we have looked that they put in front of us as so-called leaders, ones they chose for us, people like Jesse Jackson and all that, right? I just told you about the mayor who was there when he was there, right? Excuse me. So I remember one time I can name them: Milwaukee Tools, DeWalt Tools, Ford Motor Company. I can name all the industries that want to go to Jackson that was trying to get there. You know who boycotted? A city with 80. The city Jackson is like 84% Black. You know who asked? You know who fought those companies and told them not to go? It was Jesse Jackson and his people. Said as long as the state has the Confederate flag up, it should not be allowed to have any industries of the Black people that fought them. But the ironic thing is, you know, it was a strong mayor and all that. But the crazy thing is, the state of Georgia, their state flag is the original Confederate flag. But none of them came out and said nothing. The people here bowed down. Like I say, Jackson is still considered itself the capital of the Republic of New Africa. And they still have this guy here would tell you he's not as strong as his father. I'm not going to say it's bad about him, but he's not as strong as his father. But he will tell you that he is a Pan-Africanist, and he see Jackson similar to what his daddy saw in Jackson, that he believed it could be a mecca for Black people if we come together. But it's crazy how Black people went against his father instead of bringing those industries that fought him. And that's why, man, that's who the reason. I could go on and on and on because I'm from Mississippi. Man, I get it, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, you probably gonna want to say more, Bakari, because there's a couple more about this one, and they all short videos though. So, Tanzania, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I wanted to ask, what exactly was this mayor trying to do? I didn't get the full story. I just see that he wants to build this.
Okay. Well, pretty much is he's saying there's an ongoing state of emergency in Jackson, Alabama, like Jackson, Mississippi. I don't know why I keep saying that. Cause you know, right now the sewer system messing up, and like, you know, like the fundraiser we got going on now, that's happening in Jackson, Mississippi, where the sewage is coming back up in people's like sinks and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
And
But
he's
what is he proposing to do?
Oh, we're gonna kind of get to that. He ain't say it
Okay.
yet, but well, I don't. He's not proposing anything though. Like, what do we ever propose we should do? You know, that's what the same thing we always propose. Y'all ever seen like Pinky and the Brain? Like, yo, what are we doing tonight? The same thing we do every night, you know.
Take over the world.
well, in our case, ask other people for help. So, all right, let me play it.
Hear their concerns and that we are working on it. They will not see the improvements that they ultimately are in need of. What we will do is continue to send crews out in order to mitigate that challenge until the larger replacement or the larger repair can be accomplished.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Did he just say they're not gonna do a damn thing?
He's saying that they gonna do like minor repairs until they can get a complete
he
fix.
Just said they're not gonna do a damn thing.
Rewind it, forecast. Because the area they talking about, my auntie live over in that area, man, and I'm just
okay.
See the improvements that they ultimately are in.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back a little bit more.
And that we are working on it. They will not see the improvements that they ultimately are in need of. What we will do is continue to send crews out in order to mitigate that challenge until the larger replacement or the larger repair can be accomplished.
Yeah, the learning curve. He said we ain't gonna do a damn thing.
That's exactly what he said. He said they not gonna, because how you gonna mitigate shit? Excuse me, feces. I was about to cuss. I be cussing sometimes. Y'all be
Go
mad
ahead,
as
let it out. I'm already on the blacklist. Let it out.
How you gonna tell me that you gonna mitigate the shit that's coming up in my sink and through my water supply, and that there's no larger replacement that's until the larger replacement is done? I'm not gonna see the results that I want, so it's gonna be less shit in my water. No, thank you.
And you know something? It's this one lady down there. They're trying to groom her to be the next mayor of the city. I don't know what's going on, but I can say this: with him being the mayor, and she's over some ward, so she's a district over some district there, right? I forget which one. I forget, she's some sorority. I forget. I think she graduated from Jackson State or either Alcorn State. But anyway, she was able to get more stuff. The state was willing to help her more than they were willing to help him. When he mentioned the state just want to take the city from him. Now, I'm not saying this woman is selling out. I don't know. But even me and my nephew who was talking, like, that seemed, one of my nephews who lived down there, that seemed kind of strange that she can go to the state. She's not the mayor and she can get whatever. But when he speak to the state just want him to step down, the city council to step down, and for them to control the city. Don't do that seem kind of strange to y'all? It seems
Yes,
strange.
it seemed mighty suspect.
And she can get whatever she wants. But like I said, he's just said he ain't gonna do nothing. He seemed like he's starting to bow down. That's something his father would have never done. He seemed like he's starting to bow down. But he is known to say he wanted to keep it a black city and how black people can control stuff in Jackson and it can be a real black America without other people's hands involved. He can't get nothing, but she can get stuff. It just seemed crazy to me. Forecast, you remember we raised water. Remember we raised some money and took water down there. Remember that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We raised money and we took water down there. And my nephew was telling me about what was going on. Then when you go to the little surrounding towns, right? The little surrounding areas outside of the city, you would just see how completely different it is in what they are able to get in most of those areas is black too. Means it's majority black, might be like 50-50 some of them, but they're able to get stuff. They have white mayors and they have white city councils. Jackson haven't had that in a very long time, but that's what they are pushing for. And they want somebody who think Jackson can be a black mecca out of the way. Because like I told you, the first black-owned tech school, that's what they say anyway, I don't know, that's going to be in this country. Remember, I showed the black lady that was building the tech school in Jackson, that, you know, for people who want to do like what being who go do coding and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
First black-owned tech school, they're building that there, right? They're also offering them, and this is what I know, they're offering people who have certain trade skills, technical skills like that, and you have a business, because I gave Ben the information and told him to look into it. He said he don't want to leave Minnesota. But I literally, my cousin was showing me down there, like they had like 60-some million dollars for small companies to come. They say they know they'll never be like Silicon Valley in California, but they know what they can do for the city and the growth rate. But the first three businesses that got money was literally black tech companies, got $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to do their startup there. That's why I was trying to get Ben to go, and some of the money that he was looking for, he could possibly get it there, because they are offering that type of money and they are looking, in all honesty, they're looking for black people to come there and run their business there. And I don't know, man. And like I said, it seems strange to me where she can get stuff, he can't get nothing. He wanted to be a black Mecca. I don't know what she wanted to be. Haven't heard her to speak on it, but I just know they want her to run for mayor. It's a black lady, but they want her to run for mayor of the city. It just seems strange to me. But you know, we do have to do stuff for our people here. We gonna have to come together, man. We got to do something to stop all this small petty infight. I get it,
I
Mike.
look at all them sorority people and fraternity people sideways because they didn't do all that they were supposed to do when they were out there getting those associations and things like that, being initiated into those groups. And they talk about Kamala Harris's affiliation with the Greek world. And it's just like those people, because I didn't pledge when I went to college, and I never wanted to because it's too secretive and they too cliquish and they don't do the things in the community that you would expect the black institutions and black sororities and or fraternities to do. They just make people feel good and they learn different little tricks and things like that, but they don't do and go out into the community the way that they were supposed to do. I wouldn't be surprised if she has another agenda. It sounds like, because I'm from Detroit and, Coleman A. Young was crooked, but he was our black mayor and he couldn't get development dollars into the city. It wasn't until we got Mike Duggan that we got more development dollars into the city. Dennis Archer was our transition away from that. And then Bing, who did nothing. And then Kwame, who was trying to be a gangster. And then we got Duggan, who is a big crook in bed with the Illiches and all of that.
You know, there's a lot of these cities, these black cities, man, you know what? That's go through that when you have the sellouts trying to get you. Like with me being here in Atlanta, once again, or in the Atlanta area. If you fly into Atlanta, it's called Hartfield Jackson Airport, right? Excuse me. That's the name of it. Hartfield Jackson Airport. That's the name of it. So if you fly into Hartfield Jackson, Jackson is the name of the mayor, Maynard Jackson. Now, let me give you a little back story on him right quick. Maynard Jackson is the reason the airport was built the way it's built, the biggest, the busiest in the world, United States, whatever. And he was willing to stop construction on that airport if no black construction companies got got jobs, right? If they didn't hire any black construction companies, they was gonna stop. So he's the reason there's a construction company here. I forget the name of it, but he's the reason black. That's kind of big. He's the reason that construction company is on the map because he forced them, right? Now, when after his second term as mayor, he was an attorney. You know, it was so hard for him to get an office here in Atlanta the way he stood up for black folks. Well, he had to leave Atlanta and go to Chicago. All these people here that they hear him talk about, the ambassador Andrew Young, right? So was a sellout. He's the one that get on TV in an interview and say, the reason the Ku Klux Klan was mad with black people is because when we made it, we didn't share with them the way we were supposed to, and we were supposed to share with them. That's coming from, as they call him, the ambassador. All these people here was for themselves, and those are the type of people that they want in charge. They have something here called the Beltway. The Beltway, what it's going to do for the city, but it did nothing for black people. And all these people here, right? With all these construction, and I should talk about all the construction that's going on. If they had a real black mayor here, like Maynard Jackson, there's no way there wouldn't be no black construction companies having these $1 million opportunities because of the square Maynard Jackson stood on. But the people that's in charge now, that's here, it's like they really don't care, and it's affecting us everywhere. Where our people that's in that care about us, we have some of our own people that help undermine them just for a couple of dollars, man. And that's what I mean when I say you have to get rid of these tricks, because all those people I just named, Andrew Young, Ralph David Abernathy, all of them sold Dr. King out. And if you were here and you ever, I don't know if anybody ever heard of Hosea Feed the Hungry here in Atlanta, none of those people would even help him. But then when he died, because he had a few churches that would help him, Hosea Williams was one of the people that stuck with Dr. King. And nobody would even help Hosea Williams feed the hungry. But he just kept trying and trying and trying and doing what he was supposed to do, right? He just kept trying and kept doing what he was supposed to do, to where it got big, and now they run out and they act like they care about Hosea Williams feed the hungry. And in our cities, when we have people that stand for us, right, and doing the right thing, us being who we are, we gonna have to learn to stand with them, right? I don't know exactly what making his mayor change some of his speech. I don't know, but seemed like there's a lot of pressure on him, and he's starting to change. People need to stand with him if we can get him to do the right. Because he did just say we ain't gonna do nothing. But if you go through these cities, I knew about Detroit. She mentioned Detroit. I had studied that too. I remember you could get a damn house move in ready in damn Detroit. You could get you a 1,500 square foot house for damn $10,000.
Exactly.
They let
Exactly.
they let the city go down so bad, and shit. In all honesty, should have went there and bought me a couple of those houses. But they don't care about the city. They're not going to care about nothing until they can get their hand on it and they can control it. And that is something that we have to understand. Whatever we at, we have to be in control, and we have to be the ones, making decisions for what's going on and what's happening with our people.
All
I
right.
tell you something else. That one more thing. I am in. I'm sorry,
Oh no,
forecast. Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Lana, go ahead.
I just tell you one more thing that's going on in Detroit right now as they're doing these rebuilds. White tourist companies are coming in and asking for the stories and facilitating tours through the city for $50 or more, where they take you to all of these previously historic sites, and they are scraping our culture as they're coming in with their ideas, businesses, and industries, and they're coming in telling, and they don't hire black people. It's a white driver, it's a white tour guide, and you got black people from all over that have migrated to the Metro Detroit area, going on these tours, just giving their money to white people. But if I started a tour company, or if I went and said we're gonna walk the Underground Railroad, or I'm gonna show you where Malcolm X delivered this speech down at Cadillac Square. Where Martin Luther King delivered this speech down at Cadillac Square. I'm gonna take you here and take you there and do this and do that. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to do it. So they come in after they are in control, and they totally dominate an area. And that tactic and that strategy, we have got to co-op. We have got to adopt that if we want to do anything for our people for real.
Yeah, and yo, and peace, Brandon Baxter. Yo, and y'all dropping a lot of so much. That's why I'm just listening. Like, yo, this is so much like great information. But yo, we are like, this is just the first video. It's like only a minute in, and we like gave a whole college course already. You know what I'm saying? But yo, that's why I'm not stopping y'all, because like y'all are brilliant and y'all killing it. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to kind of get to all the things that at least we're not gonna get to the main topic of why I even named the show, because like that's gonna be kind of long in itself. But unless Tanzan got something to say, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna keep playing. All these videos is like short though, like 2 minutes. Like, some of them is longer, but I ain't gonna play more than like 2 minutes for any of them, because I did it last time. But that's why I want y'all on here, because like y'all touching everything that I didn't touch, and this is better than it was last time. So y'all, thank y'all. But Tanzan, you got something to add to it?
No, I think it's all been said. Go ahead.
Yo, learning curve, Bakari. They definitely dropping knowledge. So yeah, I'm gonna keep playing. But yeah, this is the black mayor though. They got a black mayor, so it's all good, I guess.
This particular investment into the sewer infrastructure, into the waste infrastructure in the Queens subdivision is one of the largest investments that this community has seen in quite some time.
This is going to be a major investment in these two neighborhoods with the replacement of the old sewer lines that were originally installed when those neighborhoods were...
Yo, Bakari, you voted for him for city engineer, bro? I know you from around that area, right?
For what? Nah, I
I don't know. You sure you ain't vote for him, Bakari?
Absolutely sure, my man. I'm absolutely sure I ain't vote for him.
I'm just making sure, Bakari.
I'm absolutely sure I did.
Yeah, they hired him to be the city. Look
Hey,
at this
peace,
dude.
Brandon Baxter and Coco. Go ahead, okay.
Putting in new modern lines. One of the biggest challenges, particularly in the Queens, is that a lot of the sewer lines were put in the backyards instead of under the street. So that will make construction costs more challenging.
There's no estimated price or timeline for construction right now, but the mayor also addressed the current boil water notice, saying the city has been...
Oh yeah, by the way, there's a lot of cities right now, especially like poor black areas, which I'm only really concerned about the black areas, is a boil water notice, because like, yo, they have to be careful, you know, and they can't drink the water or consume it because it's like it's so much toxins and like, you know, stuff in the water, you know, that they really have to boil the water that they're using, you know. So
conducting daily samples of the water. Now, in order for the boil water notice to be lifted, all 120 water samples have to be clear 2 days in a row. So right now, there's no clear end to the boil water notice in sight. Melanie, back to you.
all right, and by the way, Tanzan, let me see if anybody came on. Tanzan, Matron, Bakari, y'all, like I said, y'all jump in. Like, don't hold yourself back. Like, because, you know, take as long as you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's all good. You know, I'm good.
Been several weeks since officials...
And this is the other video I played.
Issued a precautionary water boil.
And by the way, this is like the residents' reaction to this water boil mandate, you know, or whatever they got going on.
For weeks since officials issued a precautionary water boil alert throughout the city of Jackson. Many residents are frustrated about the ongoing water issue. The public is demanding answers from officials concerning water safety and water bills. How much longer is the question?
Oh yeah, by the way, their water bills are going up, by the way, while sewage is coming through their sinks. Their water bill is getting higher. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't even mention that.
Wait, they're still charging them for the water?
I mean, yeah. I mean, hold on. Let me see. I may be wrong because I'm not down there, but I know people is complaining about it. So let me see what he said.
Water safety and water bills. How much the public is demanding answers from officials concerning water safety and water bills. How much longer is the question that a lot of people are asking.
Now, I don't know if the water bills is going up, but they're definitely paying for their, you know, feces coming back up in their sink.
You using more water because if you're under a boil water advisory, you're evaporating at least 15 to 50% of the water that you put into that pot. So you are using more water trying to get to clean water if you have to boil your water. And it's crazy that these people are making them pay.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, now, I like I said, I could be wrong. That's just the way I interpreted it. Maybe I heard it wrong, you know, because like I'm not this like y'all the teachers here tonight. You know, y'all definitely smarter than me. So I don't know. All right.
When I get out the shower, man.
Listen to what he's saying, right? When you get out the shower.
Oh man, I be scratching. I don't know if the water got me doing that or what. When I take a shower, it seems like I be itching or something.
And this been going on for 20 years now. And something need to be changed about the water. Why as we study having a problem with the water, they got taxes for the money and everything. What is going on with the money? I know I hear all of them saying something, but I hear everybody talking, the mayor and Kenneth Stokes, but I don't hear no solution. And what we gonna do? And then 2 weeks ago, we just had the problem with water. Now we got to do water again. I'm up here collecting water, buying water, and then paying a water bill. That's 3 times of paying water bill. I'm too old.
Yo, hold on. Yo, time to work, my brother. What it do? Hey, listen to what she said. That's three. She said it's 3 times paying the water bill. That's how she said it's 3 times.
Solution and what we're going to do. And then 2 weeks ago, we just had the problem with water. Now we got to do water again. I'm up here collecting water, buying water, and then paying a water bill. That's 3 times.
She got to collect water, right? So I'm pretty sure, I guess it's like a well or something. Then she got to go out and buy some water. Then she got to go pay for this water bill that she can't use because like they got my man itching in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Let me play that.
I don't know if when I get out the shower, man, I be scratching. I don't know if the water got me doing that or what. When I take a shower, it seems like I be itching or something.
And this been going on for 20 years now. And something need to be changed about the water. While we study having a problem with the water, they got taxes for the money and everything. What is going on with the money? I know I hear all of them saying something, but I hear everybody talking to Mayor and Kenneth Stokes, but I don't hear no solution. And what we gonna do? And then 2 weeks ago, we just had the problem with water. Now we got to do water again. I'm up here collecting water, buying water, and then paying a water bill. That's 3 times of paying water bill. I'm too old for that to be running around chasing water.
And if you live in Jackson, you should continue to boil your water and or use bottled water until further notice. And
But still pay your water bill, by the way, on time. And you better not be late. We're gonna turn your water off, you know. But it was an update to it. But y'all want to say something? Because I said something right there. I said and this is another part from science, you know. I remember I said this, you know. Because there could be a young kid out there that can learn how to take any kind of water and put it into something that's like, pocket size, you know what I'm saying? And just like, put it in, then it'll come out like fresh water or any kind of water that you need. That's an invention that's like literally possible. And maybe like, I guess if I put the rest of my life to it, maybe I can figure it out. But, I'm just saying. But before I go to the next part, because this is an update to it that I didn't have last time. Y'all want to say something?
Well, I don't know about the plumbing thing. It would be nice if the community came together and they would say, well, how many of us are plumbers? How many of us can do this and that? Labor is one of the most expensive charges. So I know that you put out the word to look for a plumber, and it's just hard to find somebody who can go down there. But the other thing I was thinking is we can also start, thinking of getting them like purification devices, like collective purification, like they do drinking water on a larger scale, so they can have like a place where they can do like gallons of water of purification, and then they give out drinking water.
Yo, that's real talk, Tanzan. That's what I'm talking about. That's innovation right there, That's
Yeah,
the kind of
just
stuff we
to
got to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a start, but it's a start. At least you're not drinking contaminated water, even though you're still living in it. But that would be a start, because one of the things that they were saying too is that people have been getting hookworms and other things, and so it's just a mess through and through. But if we can start with that, and maybe try to find some cheaper methods of donating their even their know-how, if there's something that people can do individually just to reduce the effect. I don't know how you can do it, but oh wow. So I would think that the people should be organizing firstly to not pay those ridiculous bills, because what are you paying for if you're not getting services? What are you paying for? And then the second thing is, maybe I don't know how much pressure they can put on the people. Like he said that they neither had a budget, or a value, how much it was going to cost and how long it was going to take. So basically, like in Metro, they have no intention of doing anything. They literally say they don't have the money and they don't have the time. These people are ridiculous. I'll
Yeah.
pass.
And
Yo,
then does the community even have the skill set necessary to establish a barter type system? Do they have plumbers in that community? Or is this a community filled with people that are working service the customer service based jobs like cashiers or school teachers and things like that. That's a whole nother thing to consider when you're looking at these things. You see, they got a white civil engineer coming in there talking about some, it's bad that the water septic tank stuff is in the back of the house and we got to put them in the front of the house, and that's going to be more money, and that's going to cost this and that's going to cost that, and we don't know how much it's going to cost and all this other stuff. They don't, do they even have the skill set necessary to address their problem?
Damn. Yo, I understand why you are called the revolutionary matron. Like, you are the truth, you know. Bakar, you got any wisdom to add to it? Because there's more to this particular thing. And then, like I said, there's other stuff. We will go kind of quick through it. But yeah, Bakar, you got any more wisdom?
You know, I'm quite sure some people in those communities with those skills, right? We just have to, I guess, tap into them, find who they are or whatever. But when Tanzan mentioned the water purifying the straw, right? The crazy thing is, I guess it's not crazy, but you do know it was a black guy from Jackson that graduated from Jackson State that created that drinking straw. Seemed like he should be there giving out those straws. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it seemed like to me. It might not seem like that to nobody else. But if that's what you did, and that's where you're from, right? It seemed like that's what you should be. That's what you should be doing and shouldn't have a problem going back and helping. But you know, they're attacking us in every which way, right? Every which way they can. And Forecast and anybody else on here who want to join, I think that's going to have to be a show that we are going to have to talk about, right? Because I'm going to be like, I know like Jackson, like I said, is the capital of the Republic of New Africa, right? So look what's happening there. Then in Lowndes County, Alabama, when you show that, that's the original home of the Black Panthers, not Oakland, from Alabama. Actually, they end up, most people know them as SNCC, but they the original.
That's just a coincidence, Bakar.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence. And look how these places, and just look at how they are being attacked. There are some things that we have to do as a people, some stuff that we're going to have to settle and we're going to have to do to make things right for us. We're going to have to stop accepting anything these people giving us, thinking it is something great. We're going to have to stop fighting one another over small things that don't even matter. And we're gonna have to learn to listen to the right people. Because all these people that's coming in causing all this confusion and division, they are literally working, excuse me, they are working with these people. They're working with them. That's my take on it, right? They are working with these people. So when you're working with somebody, you know, for somebody, you will do, I guess, whatever it takes for you to continue making your little money. So the confusion and the division is to keep us distracted from things like this. So this shows like this, podcasts like this is very important. So if anybody can share the show, we should share these shows because this is very important, very important. And I get it, Mike.
Yeah, and there's more important stuff to come to. And first of all, let me say Amani to the Harsh Reality Podcast. Thank you for coming through, my brother. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play these next two videos. They kind of short, but it's like demonstrate up. I'm only gonna point it out. I'm not gonna be long-winded, you know what I'm saying? I'm only gonna point it out. I'm gonna play these next two videos so we can go to the next topic, you know what I'm saying?
Special Jackson City Council meeting met with the EPA leaders to discuss Jackson's water crisis and issues at the O.B. Curtis Water Treatment Facility. Told Mrs. Leah Williams.
And by the way, let me say this, shouts out to them for taking down the last video so we can do the videos that was updated since then, because if you see this came out today, from their news channel, So shouts out to them for hating on us.
That meeting.
One of the largest issues that we're dealing with in our city is our drinking water.
The Jackson City Council's Disaster Preparation and Response Committee met with EPA leaders to discuss issues at the O.B. Curtis Water Treatment Facility. The agency has sent notices of noncompliance to the city 3 times in the past 3 years. There have been a number of issues since, including an electrical panel fire, a treatment chemical explosion, and most recently, a turbidity violation. The EPA says the city has been making improvements, but say staffing and maintenance continue to be major issues. One of the biggest concerns for city and EPA leaders was that the Public Works Director didn't know off the top of his head how many Class A operators he has on his staff, since those highly trained workers
I think this is the video.
oversee operations at the treatment facilities.
Without sufficient staffing, both Class A operators as well as adequate maintenance staff and doing adequate maintenance, the system will have unexpected outages.
I hope that this information can be retrieved very quickly. It's alarming to me that.
All right, now listen to these brothers that's on this panel. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I just heard it wrong because I was being quick or whatnot. But we got some experts on the panel tonight.
That the Public Works Director does not know how many Class A people off the top of his head or have in close proximity, especially for this type of meeting, knowing the importance and the gravity of it.
I wasn't invited to the meeting. I wasn't on here.
There have been letters that have been going out from the EPA specifically asking questions about the Class A workers.
While the city continues to work on fixing issues at O.B. Curtis, leaders are also planning in case of future outages.
An agreement, I believe, with the Brown Bottling Group as well as some of the local grocery stores to say if we, when we go through these situations, do we have something that is more formal and in place?
Although the EPA says Jackson has only been in intermittent compliance with their terms under a consent decree, the agency has never imposed any fines or penalties on the city. In Jackson, Leah Williams.
All right, so that wasn't, I think it's this one. It's on 55.
Hold up. I want you to define turbidity in water as you understand it. Do you even understand what that means?
What does turbidity mean?
It means the cloudiness or haziness of a fluid, like how clear it is. So they don't even have clear water. It could be the milky, white, foamy stuff, or it could be the black sewage field stuff. It could be the rust color stuff, but it's not clear. The water is not clear.
This dude said that?
That's what he just said when the lady said they got a violation for turbidity regarding the turbidity of the water. And I'm just like, how many people even know that means that their water isn't clear enough to drink? Because why do they have to use those types of words and language to further confuse people? Because, at first it's like turbidity, I think turbulence, but it's like, no, this is water, so it means something different. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's tricknology. That's them using tricknology to further confuse people.
Hold on, let me play it. Like, yo, that was a good catch because I didn't even know what it meant, to be honest with you.
Agreement, I believe, with the Brown Bottling Group as
the EPA is workers.
Issues at O.B. Curtis, leaders are also planning in case of future outages.
An agreement, I believe, with the Brown Bottling Group as well as some of the local grocery stores to say if we, when we go through these situations, do we have something that is more formal and in place?
Although the EPA says Jackson has only been in intermittent compliance with their terms under a consent decree, the agency has never imposed any fines or penalties on the city. In Jackson, Leah Williams.
I was wrong part.
Very quickly.
I missed that part.
You should have went back.
Where the girl was talking.
Oh, right here.
Before the black guy was talking here.
And EPA leaders was that the Public Works Director didn't know off the top of his head how many Class A operators he has on his staff, since those highly trained workers oversee.
Hold on, is it before this?
I think it's just before this, but I think she's the one that was talking. Because she highlighted 3 problems with the water, and I'm like, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, just casually listening to it, not being someone that works in the field of water. I'm like, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, just casually listening to it, not being someone that works in the field of water. I'm like, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, just casually listening to it, not being someone that works in the field of water. I'm like, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, just casually listening to it, not being someone that works in the field of water. I'm like, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, just casually listening to it, not being someone that works in the field of water. I'm like, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, just casually listening to it, not being someone that works in the field of water. I'm like, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, just casually listening to it, not being someone that works in the field of water. I'm like, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, just casually listening to it, not being someone that works in the field of water. I'm like, we don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, just casually listening to it, not being someone that wor I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have thought deeply about it. I'd just been like, so it's the pressure thing, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have thought it's about the cloudiness and haziness of the water, the clarity of the water, how clear the water is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Says the city has been making improvements, but fire, a treatment chemical explosion, and most recently, a turbidity violation. The EPA says the city has been making improvements, but say staffing and maintenance continue to be
You
major
hear
issues.
she just said it, forecast.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, turbidity issues.
EPA says the city has been making improvements, but say panel fire, a treatment chemical explosion, and most recently, a turbidity violation. The EPA says
Damn, yo, that's crazy. So it's like dirty water.
Hey, but you know something. Think about this, man. Just think about. I'm back to the black cities, right? Look what they did. Look what happened to Flint. Flint in Detroit is on the largest freshwater in and out of this country in the United States. So they do stuff like that, and all those black people leave. And what you're gonna see? You're gonna see Chinese shit and everybody else docking down there in Flint, right? And that's the largest, right? Because they got the 3 Great Lakes down there, right? Right,
Right.
Matrix. Yeah,
Right.
that's the largest. So what they do, they're gonna run all the black folks out. So then when you look up Flint, that was a black city, and they was letting it go to nothing. So now what they're doing with the water, all these black people is gonna want to leave, and now you're gonna see Chinese docks. You're gonna see everybody being players in the game except us. And we don't understand, man. Somebody's told me there's something where we just got to understand. If we're not willing to be as ruthless as our enemies, we're gonna stay in this same position. And it's just that simple. We have been here all this time, and we haven't studied them, but everybody studied us. And then we get mad when people talk, oh, they taking our culture, oh, they doing this to us, because everybody study us. But we haven't taken time to study other people. We take time to say, why can't we just all get along? Well, in 2022, it's crazy. I can't believe people still feel that way. Oh, I can't believe race. You understand what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
all this time, we ain't studied them. Nowhere in the world we have studied anybody to see, and that's why to see what we can do. That's why I say, if we change our thinking, change our mind, we'll change our situation. We have the mind of the conquered. We have the mind that we're supposed to be conquered, and we need handouts unless we're dealing with one another. Everybody else have mind of conquerors, and the first people they're going to conquer, soft targets. The first people the conqueror is going to deal with is the mind of the conqueror is going to attack the mind of the conquered. It's too many of us to just be bowing down. It's too many of us to be tough. It's way too many of them. We can't do this. We can't. It's too many of us to just lay down. I know it's internal war that we have that we gonna have to get right, but it's some shit gonna have to stop, man. Because like I said, I'm gonna live to see it. I know a lot of people say, if we start right now, we might not live to see it. That's a lie. I'm gonna live to see it. And that's what we're gonna have to do, man. We gonna have to change our mind. Stop this old school. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. And Tanzan, before you speak, because that was the first thing you said, Jackson Mayor. That's the first thing you asked. Jackson Mayor says city has a plan to fix water crisis. So it's 55 seconds, so I don't know what kind of plan it is, but okay.
Mayor Chokwe Angelamomba says that Congressman Benny Thompson isn't up to date when it comes to the city's water crisis. The mayor's comments come after the congressman told me that Jackson City leaders needed to come up with a plan to fix their water issues. Thompson says that this would help get funding for state and federal partners.
City fathers,
Here go the plan, y'all.
Fathers and mothers will have to step up, produce that plan that we can begin to sail from Jackson to Washington. I think just saying we need help and not saying what that help entails is where the problem lies.
So the plan is you N-words come up with a plan, and my plan is, hey, we need some help. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, we do need help, okay? But like, where are we looking for this help from? You know, But his plan is you N-words come up with a plan that can help us from Jackson, Mississippi to Washington, D.C., you know? So let me see if there's anything else. There's only 10 seconds.
But according to Mayor Lumumba, he does have a fully outlined plan, and he can't wait to share it. 12 News is asked to see it. We were then told to submit a public records request, which we have done.
All right, so we'll find out in a couple of weeks, maybe. All right, so y'all got anything to say about this? Before we go to the next, because this is the last of this
Just real
topic.
quick, how it seems when they have a problem where if it was happening in some white town PA, they would be having experts in problems immediately. You remember that even if it's not in America, you remember that mine when those kids were stuck in a mine or whatever, how quickly the whole world just came together and solutions were tried and all that. But suddenly when it comes to something like this is not an extraordinary problem. This is not something that we have never seen the likes before. This is just modern plumbing. There's nothing complicated or difficult. This is not rocket science. It's basically it's barely even science. It's something that people can fix themselves if they had the money. So this pretense of incompetence or we don't know what to do and all that is just a tactic, and a tactic just to show people, we really don't care, and as we are the experts, but we're relying on you, the victims, to come up with this, or the regular people to come up with it. When the experts, the politicians, don't have a plan for the budget, the scientists, they're looking at themselves like looking at their hands like they don't know what to do. And of course they do. Everybody knows what happens. Everybody knows what is supposed to happen, but they're just playing very, very dumb just to pretend the situation is not what it is. And I don't know what more pressure can be put on these people, especially some of this black people, like that old man just talking, and that flashy lawyer talking his nonsense. I think that people should find out more about them and try to beseech them more aggressively. But yeah.
Yo, I agree with you, Tanzan. A learning curve. Do you think I was like exaggerating or I'm tripping? Like maybe I'm like, hearing it different because I'm on the outside looking in, maybe. But when I said you N-words come up with a plan, am I tripping or
No, you're not tripping. He's saying that they need to come up with a plan. And that's where I go to when I talk about the fact that whether we have the skills and ability to organize those types of ideas, because we do know what needs to be done. There are a lot of people in that area that may know what needs to be done, but do they know how? Do they have the skills, and are they writing it down? Are they making the business plan? I think that is very condescending of this I think he's a senator, congressman, that is telling them that they need to come up with a plan, and he's not offering a helping hand to them. That's the one that's on that January 6th committee. I think it's very condescending of him to sit there and tell them that they need to come up with a plan and submit it so that he can walk it through Washington, instead of saying, you know what, I have a clerk that can help y'all. Or you know what, I have this that can, try to get y'all organized so that you can write it down. They got some white guy down there talking about he don't know what it is. All he knows is that it would give them more money to have to totally disconnect the house the pipes that's connected at the back of the house and bring them to the front of the house, and to dig into the house from that way. I don't know if that's good city planning or if that's good civil engineering or what, but it seems to me like, yeah, you would have to have more money to totally reorient the pipes in the house versus putting them and fixing the existing structure. So it just seems like a big cash grab. Like they feel like eventually they're setting up for the white people or their puppets to be in power and get blank checks so that they can totally pilfer from these people.
yeah, that's a fact. I agree with you, Matron. Bakari, you want to say something before we go to the next thing?
No, I agree. That's exactly what they're doing, making sure they stay in power and they have their puppets in a way. And I'm going to be honest, man, I'm a little disappointed in I can't even say his last name, Shilamumba, the mayor. I'm a little disappointed in him, the way he's standing. I'm just being honest, man. he does not his strength in the way he speak. He's nothing like his father. You know, they from Detroit too, Matron. They moved, yeah, they from Detroit. I don't know. Yeah, that's where they from. So, yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm just being honest. I'm disappointed in him, and that's just the truth in him. In him. What's salute, brother Rashid? What's up, Harsh Reality Podcast? Time to work.
Yeah. Salute, Rasheed Holmes. Now, so the next thing, this was also an important thing here, that I was showing last time, and I don't think I'm gonna show this whole thing because I think I'm gonna skip through it because it's only 2 videos, so I'm gonna play some of it and let y'all know what I was saying.
The Colorado River, which provides water. To nearly 40 million people. It's leading to historic water cuts. CBS News senior national environmental correspondent Ben Tracy reports.
It's a crisis on the Colorado. The nation's largest reservoirs are rapidly retreating. Iconic dams could stop producing power.
Now, first and foremost, let me say this. I don't know if it's real or not or fake or not. That's my disclaimer. I don't know. But I'm saying, you know, the effects of these things, of these events, you know, I'm just saying like maybe bottled water was going to start skyrocketing, or, you know, your water bill may get higher or something like that, or, you know, a number of things could happen that would affect, you know what I'm saying, the way that you live, you know. And right now they're talking about the East Coast, and I'm gonna let it play because it's talking about us, certain states, but it's really talking about all of America, because I'm here in Virginia and they're trying to show this here. So it could be propaganda, but, you know, they do control these things to where, you know, the price of water could be like $10 for, you know, a case of water.
Western states are being warned to drastically cut their water use.
This is a crisis that we haven't seen in history.
Today, the Interior Department declared a first ever Tier 2 shortage on the river that provides water for 40 million people in 7 states. Arizona will lose 21% of its water, Nevada 8%. And the government is now threatening unprecedented cuts on all the states unless they start using less water.
It is in our authorities to act unilaterally to protect the system.
Climate change is making the West hotter and drier. The worst drought in 1,200 years and chronic overuse have drained Lake Mead.
Now, I'm sorry to interject right there, but what I didn't show on here is that recently, in the last couple of days, Biden has signed another $1 billion bill that has gone to global warming and stuff like that. You know, for however you may feel about that. You know, I just had to throw that in there. Climate change, right?
Climate change is an economy. Climate change is electric cars and solar panel and technological developments and new patents and hopes and wishes and new uses for the resources that are already here and diverging of funds to other markets. Climate change, like anything else, is an economy. It is a cultural economy.
Yo, that's a fact, you know. Yo, that's why I appreciate it. I said it wrong, you know. That's exactly what it is, you know. And all right, so let me keep going.
In Lake Powell to about a quarter.
And by the way, you know, and like I said, this is my thing. I don't know if it's real or fake. You don't have to come on saying, yo, this is fake or this is real. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like, yo, the power could go out in your house, so it's just be safer than not to like stock up on batteries and like, you know, every time you go to the store get canned food. And you know, Bakari's talking about, you know, generators and stuff, and you still got to do that show. You know, this is just, I'm just saying, you know, it's better to assume than not, you know, because even if it's fake, that's even worse, because then they can control when it goes out. You know what I'm saying? And if it's real, you don't know when it's gonna go out. So just be prepared, you know.
Of capacity.
We're going to buoy number 3, they call it.
At Lake Powell this summer, we met fishing guides stunned.
40 feet up the wall where my bait was hitting where I was fishing just a year ago.
So you're saying literally a year ago, this boat we're on right now would have been 30, 40 feet up there?
Yep. It's absolutely crazy.
It could lose 25% of its water.
We should not get to a day where we turn the faucet and there is no water.
And Ben Tracy joins us.
Okay. So I would have let this play, but is another one, and this kind of is more clear than what this dude is talking about.
tens of millions of Americans and puts a fine point on how dire the crisis. We begin tonight with severe water cuts that will impact tens of millions of Americans and puts a fine point on how dire the crisis is in America's West. A mega drought is drying up the Colorado River and depleting the nation's largest man-made reservoir, Lake Mead. Take a look at this before and after of the reservoir over the last 2 decades. It is devastating. Well, tonight, the federal government is forcing states to cut the amount of water they can draw from the Colorado River, and that means states will have to make critical decisions about how they use water.
And they're not going to mention it here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You know, Bakari, you talked about farming last time, you know, and with the water cuts, you know, no matter what we might say, you know, who is the first people that's going to get cut? Now, I don't know how many black farmers are in these certain states, and it's going to, in my estimation, and I hope I'm wrong because I could be wrong about this, it probably expand, like because, you know, especially if they want to control it, but you know that's going to affect the black farmers that we was just talking about, you know, and that's if we even want to get into it, but let alone just cutting on your sink, you know what I'm saying, if you in, especially if you in like Arizona, California and stuff, you know.
And here in Washington, President Biden signed what he hopes will help make an impact, a bill that includes 300.
Hey, learning curve. Hey, why do they always like stand there and look at him sign the bill? I don't understand.
You know, I think that goes back to, you know, they have a lot of rituals and practices that they do in the government to ensure that it's really happening as witnesses and different things like that. But I think that kind of hails back to that. Bakari might know more, but you know, like if somebody dies and they're in the military, they have to have somebody in the military stay with the body until it goes in the ground, because they didn't want to, you know, somebody to like fake their own death. And I think that this kind of sort of goes back to that ritualistic idea of we got to make sure that he really signs it. But I'm not 100% sure.
No, yo, that sounds like 100% legit. Yo, Bakari, what do you think?
I don't know, but that's the same thing I was thinking.
Yeah, that sounds 100%.
Sign it, or they there to kiss or they there to kiss some ass, one or the other.
Yeah, I just looking at this black dude because I was thinking about the George Floyd bill, you know, you know, just and this dude look like Clinton over here.
He's really there to kiss some ass. Every white person up there, he gonna kiss some ass.
Yeah, it just always seemed weird. Like they always look the same way in every picture. Like they always just looking down at it. You know what I'm saying, with the fake smile. I was like, yo, why do they do that in every like picture? But yo, that make a lot of sense though.
You know what that looks to me like?
What's that?
The laying of hands. You know, the way somebody is always lower, and then other people are sort of, you know, the rest of the community, and they are approving this this action. And the importance of social, you know, signing things or contracts, societal contracts, is very important to them. The written word is more sacred than the, you know, the spoken word. You can say anything you like, but if you don't put it down on paper, that's why, you know, even inauguration, swearing, all these things, they have to put their word on a written word. Your word alone, you saying it, is not enough. So you as a human being, your word is not enough. What is more important is that, you know, signature, that piece of paper that you put. So it's almost like you take the soul out of the human and you put it onto the paper, and the rest of the humans, you know, also give you their energy and spirit as well to put into that paper, instead of the other way around with us with the oaths, where an oath is the most important word, is the word that comes from your mouth. So when you declare something, that is the truth. But for them, they can declare something with both sides. But when it's written down and it's signed, that's when they feel that something is really, you know, is really low or intact, or is actually valid when it's on paper. So a man's word means nothing, but when they gather around like this is almost like an open conspiracy, because this is what you'd imagine a conspiracy looking like: a bunch of men, you know, huddled around, you know, a conference table, and then when they finally, you know, agree on their evil plans, now they come together and they look over each other. And it's also, you know, a lack of trust. You know, this person can sign it, but they need all these people to look over and make sure that, you know, he's really signing what he said. So there's both the trust in the written word and the lack of trust in the spoken one. and the worship of social contracts. That's all I have.
Yeah, yo, that's a fact. I agree with you 100%, Tanzan. And so y'all telling me that we're gonna have to be standing over a learning curve while she's signing something? Like Bakari gonna be the dude in the blue
Yeah,
bending
to make
over.
sure she doesn't cheat us out of all our money.
That's right. That's right. I don't mind. I don't mind. My word is my bond. I will take that oath.
I'm gonna be a black dude standing right there learning curve. And by the way, Tanzania, yo, that goes to, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, the how much oath is a better word than scripture, right?
Yes.
Forecast is so jealous. Sanzan, stop co-signing that. Forecast mad. Stop co-signing. He want to write some scriptures.
He's trying to trick us.
He want to hate. But hey, Forecast, let me say this before you go to the next one.
Okay.
When I was sitting there talking, remember last week or week before on Bill of Medicine, and we were talking about black media, right? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm talking about, things we need. We don't have nothing set up, but there's something else we got to work towards setting up. If we had something set up, we have people that want to be journalists and that want to do this, right? We need to have something set up where they could at least do it on a part-time basis. And we paying them their gas money and they getting some money to go do this work. But our people should be the ones down there interviewing our people in Jackson, Mississippi, in Lowndes County, Alabama, in Flint, Michigan. You understand what I'm saying? In New York, when you showed that one in New York. You understand? We need to have something set up. And even if we don't have a TV station now, we could have something set up where we could use our panels, Quaz Radio, since it's a whole team, and Team Black, use our panels as the where they're gonna put it on. But they're out. We literally have people out going, doing those interviews, man. I'm gonna just be honest, man. The more we sit here and talk, like, damn, man, we're a long ways behind, but we can catch up. Once we change our mind, our thinking, we can catch up. But we are a long ways behind right now. I just wanted to say that because I was just thinking about that while everybody else get the interview, how people accept us.
I just want to piggyback on that, Brother Bakari. A correspondent is just your friend or associate that lives somewhere else. So you have a Metro Detroit correspondent in me. We have a Greater Atlanta area correspondent in you, and the correspondent wherever the forecast is, a correspondent wherever Tanzania is, a correspondent wherever Koku and Oni Tase are in the Harsh Reality podcast. And those are the things that matter. We're talking about all these other things, but a correspondent is just an associate that you talk to that is physically somewhere else. So.
Yo, facts. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, that shows, you know, the internet has the ability to level the playing field. I thought the last one was gonna show two brothers arguing. I didn't get that video, but it was two brothers on there arguing about you know, the problem in Jackson, Mississippi, like arguing like we would, like, you know, if you just turn on YouTube and see two brothers arguing, you know what I'm saying? But these are people in political positions, you know what I'm saying? So yo, that's a fact. Yo, this is a tool if we could use it as such, you know, and I think that we are, so it's good enough for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have been able to talk to Learning Curve, Tanzan, Bakari, you know what I'm saying, without it, you know. Maybe I would have, but it made it a lot easier. So, you know, shouts out to that. You know, we're going to use it for what it's worth. I don't care if nobody else do, you know what I'm saying? And that's the change that you got to start with, you know. So let's play the rest of this. I'm going to skip through the show.
Its kind in U.S. history.
Does this dude even know what he's doing right now? Look at his face. Like, what the hell?
Man, Joe Biden shook a hand with a ghost. He never know what the hell he doing. Joe Biden literally turned around. Oh, Sleepy Joe.
I'm standing there, fell off a bike, standing still, and tried to shake a kid hand and play it off.
He shook a hand with a ghost.
Yo, look at this. Hey, who he handing this pen to? Like, what is he doing?
CBS's Ben Tracy covered.
Like, what is this? The Constitution? Now you sign, my brother? Like, what do you think? George Washington or something?
U.S. history.
Who we handing the pen
CBS's
to?
Ben Tracy covers climate for us and will start us off tonight. Good evening, Ben. So, just how urgent is this situation?
It's become very urgent, Nora, and you can see why. This is what so much of the American West now looks like, dried out and burnt out. Here in California, more than 99% of this state is now battered by drought, and the federal government is so concerned about this critical water source, it's taking unprecedented action. It's a crisis on the Colorado, the nation's largest.
I heard a lot of that in the last one.
On the river that shortage on the river that provides water for 40 million people in 7 states. Arizona will lose 21% of its water, Nevada 8%. And the government is now threatening unprecedented cuts on all the states unless they start using less water.
It's at all the states. I never even heard them put it like, I heard them say all 50 states or the United States. He's at all the states. What do you even mean by that? You mean like all the states like Arizona and California, or all the states, you know?
You know what he said? It says 7 states. I guess he mean all 7, but he did say all the states. I guess he mean all 7 of the states. I don't know.
Yo, black people different. Like we were like, yo, all the states, yo, we talking about everybody, you know what I'm saying? But they could be like, that's the technology. We don't even talk the same language, even if we say the same words, you know what I'm saying? Learning curve, you got something to say about that? What do you think?
I think that, a lot of times we speak in hyperbolic, colorful language, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere that I can think of.
all the states is gonna be hit. No, he's like, no, I just mean those several states I was speaking of, And by the way, speaking black, you know what I'm saying? It's not saying intellectual words. You can say dumb words and not speak black. It's just like a lack of rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like we'd be like, yo, all the states is gonna be hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't understand his language for me,
And the government is now threatening unprecedented cuts on all the states unless they start using less water.
It is in our authorities to act unilaterally to protect the system.
Climate change is making the West hotter and drier. The worst drought in 1,200 years and chronic overuse have drained Lake Mead and Lake.
Where my bait was.
All right. So I'm gonna stop right there so we can get to the next thing. Do y'all got anything to say? Okay.
I don't have nothing to say on that one.
No, we can continue.
Yeah. And I would say this, learning curve. You wanted to say something?
No, I was just chiming in to say no.
No, okay. I would say this, you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you can be prepared no matter how you can, you know what I'm saying? Get water, because you never know what could happen tomorrow, even if nothing else happens, you know what I'm saying? And if I had the opportunity, I would go hit the nuclear button. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, maybe somebody else will too. So just be prepared. Get batteries, get flashlights, get canned food, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they was talking about electricity and stuff like that, and it may or may not go out. I'm just saying, we never know what could happen tomorrow. We always talk about being prepared. And Bakari, like, don't go into it just real quick, like 20 seconds, like, yo, with the generators thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need generators, marine batteries. Marine batteries, can run lamps, can run flashlights. I'm gonna go ahead and get that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that show. I did my show, my homemade air conditioning. I got to go ahead and show you how to hook up a marine battery, a battery that go for a boat to run your microwave and can run a lamp, charge your phone, do stuff like that. Or you could still have certain things in your house if something happened, And I think what they're doing, man, they're setting up the purge. I'm being honest, bro. And we better be ready.
Bakari, you like 600 years late to talk about the purge, my brother. We already been through a purge already, so.
No, I'm talking about the purge like the movie.
What do you mean, Purge 7? The last purge, the forever purge? That was the last one I seen.
Yeah, they setting up another one.
Because you seen the first purge, right, Bakari?
And they setting up another one. They just setting up a real life purge right now.
Yeah, and I don't mean the first purge.
Because when people get desperate, people fight. And who are the first people desperate people gonna pick on? They're gonna pick on the defenseless. Who's the most defenseless?
Yeah, but Bakari though, like the first purge, not the first movie, The Purge. I'm saying the movie that was called The First Purge. You know what I'm saying? Did you see that one?
The movie? Yeah.
Yeah. And you remember who that one was based off of?
What was it based off of?
It was the one that was based off like black people in the hood. It was like the first experiment of the purge. You know what I'm saying? and
Oh
it was
yeah,
like
yeah,
right.
yeah. Yeah. I
Yo,
thought you were talking
well,
about it literally based off of something. I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, it was like 1594. It was based off what, like, oh no, I'll say 1438. It was based off that. You know what I'm saying? That the first purge was 1438. You know, we ain't used to the purge yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. You know, I'm saying we've already been through the purge. You know, dude, they was like running through like there was a time they could come in your cabin and you know rape your mom or your wife or your daughter. And there was also a time if you whistled at a white girl that they would string you up. And now if you go to camping or something with a white girl, you'll be found in the river or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's the purge, bro. Like what are you talking about?
Yeah. I know one thing. This guy from Detroit named Cyrus Student said I used to listen to sometime before I think he went crazy. One thing he used to say was, arm yourself with knowledge. Well, we need to arm ourselves with knowledge, but we need to arm ourselves with a way to protect, defend, and feed food, clothing, and shelter. That's the greatest defense: food, clothing, shelter, and figure out a way to defend it. I'm just being honest, man. And that's what it's getting to.
Yeah. And let me be quick because that's a brilliant segue, Bakari, the purge, you know, because I have to give an update. Y'all remember you know, Buffalo? Y'all remember that?
Yeah. And let me say this before you do your segue, before you play that,
Go ahead.
right? Since you said Buffalo, let me say this right quick. In New York, look, and I know this is just a movie, but I think people I think they put in their movie sometime what they want. Found a movie called Bushwick. And what I'm talking about was what was going on basically in that movie, the reason these militias went to take over. In the first place they went, in the first place they were attacked was New York City because it's hard to get guns. And they were attacking the black folks. I know it's a movie, but I'm just saying. I think they put what they want to happen in these movies. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, why wouldn't you? Like, I would put what I would want to put in movies, you know what I'm saying? I would be in the movie talking about if I got taken care of a white kid, oh, you was dumb, you know what I'm saying? You was evil, you know what I'm saying? You was stupid as hell, you know what I'm saying? Instead of saying you was kind, you was dumb, you know what I'm saying, and all of that, you know. That's what I would do in a movie. And I would say, you know, well, you know, that's neither here nor there. You know, I was about to say, you know, that KKK movie, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yo, show a white dude trying to beat up a woman in a convenience store and then show him get lynched, you know what I'm saying? But then I look at the real story and see a black man turn his head and walk away, you know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you know, top survivor shootings are not getting the help they need, says activist GoFundMe page. Now I could read all of this, but it'd be easier just to play this quick video.
Scars. Millions of dollars were donated to the Buffalo 514 Survivors
Millions of dollars, 5 million to be exact.
Fund. But as Kritzia Williams reports, some community members feel the survivors are now being left behind. Kritzia, good evening.
Taylor, 4 survivors of the top shooting shared their stories of the shooting and their thoughts on how they've been treated after the fact today at a local missionary Baptist church. The Buffalo Together Fund has raised about $5 million, yet survivors say they have not received any help. The survivors shared.
By the way, this is August 14th, 2022. You know what I'm saying?
How getting to work, getting food for
and
them.
Today is the 18th. For those listening in the future.
Themselves, even leaving their house has been a struggle. Each of them are in therapy and have filled out many applications for financial help and has not received any answers.
And TOPS has reopened their doors and everyone is supposed to go back to business as normal. We still have to fight for those that survived that day. And part of that fight is putting in all the applications. So everyone that's sitting here today has applied for the services that they're able to apply for. No one has received any money.
So they gotta apply for, you know, their I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say.
You know, your boy called it a hoax forecast. Your boy said it was a hoax. Your boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people say things, you know what I'm saying, that they don't mean. I don't know if he means it or not though. So, but he also says, biracials are not black, but then he says they are. So I don't know. And then I was playing. They cut my thing last time because I played Get Out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember the scene with the lady was like, no, 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 no. I asked her. You know what I'm saying? Is JFK racist? She was like, no, 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 no. They're like family to us. But they cut my video off. All right, my bad.
More have passed to provide compassionate compensation for those whose lives were impacted by that terrible event is well underway. Good evening, I'm Mary Alice Demler.
And hello, everyone. Of an actual death threat, according to one of the organizers of this event and the Survivors Fund. Ron, what's this all about?
Well, Scott, first off, we want to mention the event. This town hall event for the public set for 6 o'clock at Buffalo City Honors. It'll also be broadcast on Facebook Live to explain the proposed procedures of this Survivors Fund. Dion says they'll fully explain the procedures and timeline for the eligibility of recipients and eventual distribution.
Now if y'all not catching on, they raised $5 million for the shooter victims' families of the Buffalo shootings. When that white boy went up there and just shot all those people, you know what I'm saying? Whether that's real or not, even if it's fake, this dude raised $5 million, right? And if you didn't catch it on the last one, the families was like, yo, what the hell is going on? This dude done raised $5 million and the families is out here struggling and they're not getting anything. They ain't even have help to bury their loved ones, in this incident while this person, while this species was raised, while something was raising $5 million.
Of the now $4.7 million, which is
4.7
collected so far for survivors and those impacted by the shooting. But Dion told me he's been harassed online and actually got a threatening email this morning, which he showed to me, and he says it's been reported to the FBI.
I met with.
Now this is the person right here, you know what I'm saying? Because I heard a lot of people. He raised $5 million. I've been saying $3 million. He raised $5 million. You know what I'm saying? He's still gonna keep going until what he says is September. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much they're gonna have to apply like his welfare or something like that. And I don't know if he's taking this money or whatnot, but Tanzan, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw what we was trying to do for us. He's raised $5 million. You know what I'm saying? And this is that John Brown complex. Maybe I'm a hater, maybe not, but I think it's a sickness that we got is this John Brown complex. You know what I'm saying? And but let's y'all hear what
to me just real quick that they managed to raise a lot. They love their criminals. Whenever one of them does something illegal or terrible or is a criminal, they will get so much support. But if one of them tries to do a good thing, not for us, just for themselves, let's say, that's illegal. That's the last time I had, trying to say, oh, climate change, or just standing up for a cause. Yeah, people will say, oh, okay, yeah, that's good and all that. But you see with them, they contribute more to their bad causes or, their criminal causes than they do, their good causes. For us, we don't do either. Even the causes that will help us ourselves, we don't really go out as much as we should. Let's say, with the Trayvon, situation, why would, the killer get more funding than the family? Before we even start, going for, oh, let's get the, cop payout, whatever. But shouldn't we as our own people be supporting each other? Shouldn't there be like a fund where it can't be a lot of money, but still we should be able to support our own people? There's some things that we can blame others for, but if we are not supporting ourselves, then there's only so much we can, blame the other person. So I think it's shameful that they can support even their criminal classes, and we can't even protect our heroes, our leaders some of the time. So, yeah.
Yo, all facts. They will raise money in a heartbeat for lawyer funds, all of that. That's a fact. Yo, learning curve. Am I tripping? Am I just being a hater? Yo, let me know.
No, we do have the John Brown complex. I think that we should form a team so that we can write up all of these mental illnesses that we as African people have, and we can pathologize both ourselves and the other, because they have a DSM, you know, a diagnostic manual for mental health and mental illnesses, where they're chronicling what they think is wrong with us. And I think we should do the same.
Yo, that's a fact. Yo, that's a fact.
Hey, you know
Yeah.
something?
Mm-hmm.
This happened, right? And this white guy claimed he raising money for black folks who ain't got none, right? Then the shooting in Texas happened, right? And in this process, we've been trying to raise money for septic tanks for black folks, right? To have clean drinking water. Do you you know who Bo Jackson is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made sure that he went to Uvadale or Zebra, however you say it, right? To make sure that
Uvaldo.
Yeah, to make sure he paid for every funeral and whatever the families need, those families can call him with whatever it is they need. You know, that's what he choose to do. I guess that's what he choose to do. But me, I think we can look past our own people. We're just talking about the mental illness. How we can just look past our own people to make sure somebody else is okay, right? Black folks loved Bo Jackson, but you know, when he made him some money, and he's from Alabama. He ain't mentioned Lowndes County, but he made sure that he want that community to know whatever it is they need so we can end all this shooting and racism in this country. You understand what I'm saying? It's crazy to me. So, you know, shit, I hear the mic, man.
Oh Lord, praise Jesus. Y'all gonna get us in trouble over here tonight, yo. I'm telling you, we're gonna get a whipping or something.
Families from Buffalo last week and from Uvalde this week.
I want y'all to hear what they said to this white boy who raised $5 million. Raised $5 million. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to be aware. He raised $5 million so far.
And none of them had any complaints about the timeline and how long it was.
All of them had complaints. We just saw a press conference where like literally all the families got together because they was complaining.
None of them had any complaints about the timeline and how long it was going to take. But then we get hundreds of angry emails, and I get one today that says, you're going to get a bullet between the eyes if you don't give those people that money now.
Dion says the Virginia-based headquarters office.
Uh-oh. Y'all heard them. Y'all heard him. Somebody told him he go get a bullet between the eyes. Yo, so after they said that, you know what I'm saying, this happened like today or yesterday, you know what I'm saying? This is how they're gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? They opened the application period, you know what I'm saying, for people to apply for their loans, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm sorry, their survivor money, you know, and I guess that was a fraudulent slip because I really didn't mean to say that.
Good evening. Community members can now register to receive money from the 514 Survivors Fund.
The fund raised millions of dollars for people directly affected by the Tops mass shooting. Tara Lynch
4.7. I'm sorry. I'm going to say that. 4.7, white dude.
Looks at how people can sign up. Tara?
Jackie and Don, the 514 Survivors Fund has raised millions of dollars to help those directly impacted by the Tops mass shooting. Eligible people can now apply for a portion of that money online.
Some people still cannot go back to work. Some people are still in their house and facing the nightmare of what happened on that day.
Victims and their families can begin receiving money that was donated to help them 3 months after the horrific attack at the Tops on Jefferson Avenue. The 514 Survivors Fund has raised more than $4.5 million. The
4.7 and growing.
application process to receive the donations began Tuesday afternoon.
There is a lot of, guidelines and categories and red tape, and it's, that stuff can be confusing, especially when people are going through a lot of trauma and, are dealing with everything else. It's like, it's almost like applying for social services.
The fund is organized by the National Compassion Fund. Alongside Buffalo community leaders, the organization created protocols for how the money would be distributed. The funds will be given out based on a tiered system, with the largest portion to include families of the victims who were killed.
We realized with the severity of the injury, severity of the trauma that we
Now, I'm not sure who else they're saying they were gonna get it. I'm not sure if they said it already or if they're gonna say it or if they got it. But there's other people like Europeans who are coming up there saying they've been traumatized by this event, and like shoppers and stuff like that. And you know, they're applying for this. You know what I'm saying?
severity of the trauma that we wanted to make it as fair as possible for people to access some of those funds because trauma's real.
Community centers like the Urban League and Resource Center, as well as other grassroots organizations, are teaming up to help residents who may not know how to apply online or don't have access to the internet.
We'll see what people need and we'll try and coordinate as a community.
News 4 did its.
All right, so yo, that's it on that one. Y'all got something to say about that one?
You know, I was traumatized by 9/11, but I couldn't get no survivors money. What the hell are they talking about?
Damn. And by the way, learning curve, they said you know, you can go online and apply for your you probably could go online and say you was traumatized by it. You know what I'm saying? But the white boy is gonna let you know who's eligible or not, though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry, I'm just being a hater right now, you know.
You're not being a hater right now, and it's ridiculous. I think that sometimes activities like this get a lot of money or funding, first and foremost, because they have a white face on the organization. And second of all, because white people somehow think that making donations to these types of things can absolve them from the guilt. They're the ones raising mass shooters. They're the ones raising these kids that go out and do these things. So they know what they say in their household, and it's just like, damn, I guess that one got caught. So we got to put some money out there because we guilty.
Like, I don't even know, because like, yo, it sounded like he was saying the other day, like probably like 2 weeks ago, like right now, somebody was like, yo, if you don't give them their money, we're gonna shoot you in the head. And so today or yesterday, they was like, we're gonna fill out this application process that you got to go through to get the money. You know what I'm saying? Now they got to go through like getting approved and you know, the whole, you know, I guess applying for social services pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like affirmative action, you know.
And they are drinking up this experience. You know how we talk about, I don't know if I've heard you talk about it, but how they have this whole industry of people that want to hear and relish in hearing other people's trauma. Well, I'm in Michigan, and they did this initiative where they had Black writers, okay, write little short stories based on the details they knew about the people that had this horrible Tops grocery store incident happen to them. And they were writing stories about these people. And I'm just like, you're just trying to glean it for as much trauma and content as you can. Everything is not about content creation. Why would you do this? These people are sick.
Right. And $5 million, Bakari, not 3 million, like I've been saying. $5 million now. It might be $10 million by September, Bakari.
Yeah, you know, so let's beat up somebody now. Don't get it twisted. Trust me, you already know how I feel about this dude. But let's beat up the dude that took $2 million for a fake hidden history museum, like you said, and let's never say nothing about the white dude. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's too much fear amongst our people, and the ones that don't have the fear, is too much. Not pocket watching, because I think someone that's scamming our people out of their money need to be called out. But it's too much dislike for one another. We don't want to see the other one succeed. I don't want to see nobody succeed who's scamming our people out of money. Trust me. But sometimes when we do stuff like this, it's hard for people to donate to us because of the scammers that's out there. But as long as we know we're not, we just keep doing our thing and we stay strong in what we doing. But I just wanted to throw that in there. But hey, forecast, I'm gonna get on my phone, man. I'm gonna join on my phone. I got to bust a move right quick.
All right. Hey, yo, if you still up, come back on, Bakari, because there's only two more things I could, but I do wanted to hear Learning Curve and Tanzan, but I wanted to hear your opinion too. But yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna join on my phone.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be quick. But
Put
Tanzan,
the
let me
link
say
back in the
because
chat to make sure I can find it. I don't mean to cut you off. I guess I did because I
okay.
did. But put the link back in the chat. I'm gonna come in through on my phone.
Okay. All right. So Tanzan, before I pass it to you, you know what I'm saying? Let me say this, you know what I'm saying? This is what I mean by like it's not that I don't want to do it, it's just that and maybe y'all got better advice for me, you know. I just think that our people aren't ready. Now, the reason why I did what I did for the water thing, you know, was because, you know, like me and Bakari was talking, like we was just had one of these meetings, like where we need to get together. And me and Bakari was like, yo, we got to do something. And I agree with them, you know what I'm saying? So either way, we're going to try to do something. So, but I still wanted to put it out there for us to do something that we need to do. But you know, it's just our people at right now is on the mindset where other people, you know what I'm saying, like the white man's ice just may be colder, I guess, right now. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they may be colder. And maybe I'm in a bad place or whatever. And I don't think it's a bad place, it's a learning experience. But I from the beginning knew that we wasn't ready for that level of it right now. You know what I'm saying? But I let somebody else affect me and do that, and also a cause that I felt like really deserved it, you know. But you see how easily that our people will give their money away to something that may not necessarily, and I'm not saying that this white dude, I mean maybe John Brown is really got your best interest at heart. Maybe I'm a hater of the John Browns of the world, you know what I'm saying? You know, I wouldn't necessarily come to Jane Elliott or Tim Wise defense like y'all would. You know what I'm saying? It's just me, you know. I wouldn't be giving out invitations to the barbecue, you know. And maybe it's just me being a hater, but you see how, and it's not just other people, because it's like bad people too that try to scam the community, because I think that our people is addicted to trauma. We're not even in the right space to even, except for certain people, you know. And that's why everything can't be out there this is just to attract people in, and then the right people will go through the streams and be a part of the movement of what we're trying to build or what we're trying to do. So, and I'm kind of rambling, Tanzan, but yo, what do you have to say about all of that and everything we saw?
No, you're good. You're good. You're actually saying very salient points. I would say that, the first thing is you can't be okay, you can't be traumatized, but if you don't acknowledge the pain, then that's all there is. That's all that, we're doing. We're just saying, oh, we went through a hard thing. We're not even acknowledging. It's like, oh, you're feeling pain, but you don't acknowledge where the pain is coming from or what to do about it, just to say, oh, we're feeling it. And it's only something that we use when we can't do something or when you're incompetent. So even that trauma, I think sometimes you also use it as a reason not to go forward, because if we did, who was more traumatized? The people who are living in actual physical slavery. As we are confused, we're mentally all that. And I do admit generational trauma, but if it's just trauma, then firstly we should be talking about getting help for our people. And that's why I was talking about the deprogramming and all that, because like Harry Taban was saying, there are people who are comfortable with things, there are people who are ignorant and they don't know about things, there are people who are simply defeated, there are people who just are trying to survive. So everybody has different levels that of their journey. And so for me, even that trauma, I wouldn't give it to people, only because sometimes people overuse it or use it as an excuse for people not to do something. And if we're going to use trauma, then let's talk about the healing. I think sometimes we just say, oh, we've gone through a lot, and then people go back and see it. But for me, I'm like, let's not even talk about what we've gone through. Let's talk about now what we were going to do, because the trauma is there, the pain is there. But if people are not even willing to face it, to face the real reasons for it, then yeah, I don't know if they're really willing to do what it takes to overcome not only their struggles but the external struggles and the real they come to the real source of the problem. When it comes to the John Brown, I guess that's the saviors. I'm still torn about it. On one hand, I know that if you let them have anything, they'll go. But on the other, I'm like Booker T. Washington style. But I'll pass.
Yeah, okay. So we can get on real quick because I know we've been on here for a long time, but I really do want to hear what y'all got to say about these two things, especially the last thing. But I do got it in a specific order already. So I played this last time. I'm gonna share the screen, and all I'm saying is, all in addition to canned goods, it'll be okay to stock up on like ammunition if you could like buy guns, because at one point, not now, but at one point they was talking about ammunition shortages and stuff like that. But let me give y'all kind of glimpse of like the other hand. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is um this is Congressman Andy Briggs. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is what he had to say the other day. Now that Trump got raided, you know what I'm saying, and what he has to say about the police. And I can't blow it up, so it's whatever.
Back of the government, and we don't have control of the government right now. We sit there. I'm in the minority of the minority. We have
White people is the minority of the minority. He's talking about.
Sit there. I'm in the minority of the minority. We have to get the House back. We have to get the Senate back. And then we have to bring them in. And we have to, there are things you can do. You can do the Holman Rule. And that's what you do is you start defunding some of these bad agencies, the FBI.
By the way, I showed on the one joint that this white boy just ran up on the FBI and tried to run it over, even though the FBI is created because they tried to destroy Marcus Garvey, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't see a black person do that, but it's funny, it's a white boy because they ran up on Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. The DOJ, you use the Holman Rule to defund people who have abused their power. You bring impeachment articles against the judges who have violated due process rights in the federal statutes, for instance, on pretrial detention. I'm like Cash. I've gone through a lot of these files. I don't see any basis for pretrial detention.
All right, so he don't see any basis for pretrial detention, none of that kind of stuff, But let's see what he's talking about when somebody is sitting on a black man's neck for like 20 minutes.
I thank the gentleman and Mr. Speaker. The Congressional Budget Office confirmed
Either that or the lynching bill. I'm sorry.
This week that the Justice and Policing Act contains an unfunded mandate by requiring onerous data collection and reporting from state and local law enforcement. This includes granular data collection on such basic law enforcement activities like traffic stops. CBO estimates that this unfunded mandate placed on state and local law enforcement will cost several $100 million. The consequences of H.R. 1280 are clear. It will drain resources away from important public safety activities. Instead, law enforcement officers will have to spend their time reporting data to Washington, D.C. from behind a desk. Make no mistake, this bill defunds the police.
They always throw one extra point. Make no mistake, these Negroes might get us, you know what I'm saying? But how do you feel about defunding the police, white boy?
Funding. That's what you do is you start defunding some of these bad agencies, the FBI, yeah, the DOJ.
Okay.
Additionally, this bill, any member who is opposed to defunding the police should be opposing this bill. This legislation will also lower the mens rea standard when charging an officer with criminal misconduct. It removes qualified immunity, which will result in an ineffectual police force and leave our communities vulnerable to crime. And it also severely limits the department.
Now, I don't know. One of y'all said this. This was an important point. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we should listen to what they're saying as whatever, but like for instance, when I talk about the Joe Biden crime bill speech, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying take about it as offense. Like, listen to yourself saying this speech. I don't care why they became the way that they became. I don't care why they are a danger to my community. What I care about is that they're a danger to my mom. They're a danger to my children, and they should not be around us. Don't ask me about rehabilitation. You know what I'm saying? Maybe after we get this cleared up, we could talk about rehabilitation. Now, take that mind frame and just listen to what he's saying.
Qualified immunity, which will result in an ineffectual police force and leave our communities vulnerable to crime, and it also severely limits the Department of Defense's 1033 program. But make no mistake, regardless of whatever else you might feel about this bill defunds police. We can never forget that. If you oppose defunding the police, you should be opposing this bill like I am.
Yeah, well, we heard what this white boy had to say, but this is real quick. I'm gonna skip through
Police
this.
for misconduct, and it would require racial training within police departments, among other things. So what are your thoughts on this bill?
Well, I think this bill is not ready for prime time, certainly. I think there are things that we could do, such as de-escalation training. I think that's important. I think the part of the problem with, if you do a no-knock arrest warrant ban, or if you say we're going to stop allowing the police to have access to military-grade equipment, what you're doing is you're actually letting the bad guys know that they're going to have an advantage in warrants, and you're letting the bad guys know that they're going to have the advantage on equipment.
Now, did you hear what he just said? Now, to ban this will let the bad guys know that they have advantage in doing. Now, when he starts getting rated for quote unquote January 6th, even though they're not really getting arrested, that's the crazy thing. And they're shooting up the FBI, they're not getting arrested when the FBI was created to stop the rise of the quote unquote Black Messiah, which is really just Black unity. And we ain't shooting up the FBI. But listen to what he says now that they're rating him.
And that's what you do, is you start defunding some of these bad agencies, the FBI, the DOJ. You use the Holman rule to defund people.
All right, because I'm being too long on this. So let me play a
And
little
really
bit
what
more.
we should be doing is making sure we have...
Because I wanted y'all to see this. Look at this. This is y'all representatives here. Brookhart is the good old Democrats here. You know what I'm saying? You know, taking a good old knee, you know.
Congressman, I think we're having a little bit issues with your
You're
audio.
saying too much
But
BS.
Bill and your colleagues as well?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So do you see yourself supporting this bill and your colleagues as well?
I haven't had a chance to read the bill yet, so I'll reserve judgment on it. But I've read the top line and I've listened to their explanations.
The George Floyd bill.
And I've worked with police in Arizona trying to get de-escalation training, and I could never get anybody on the other side of the aisle to help. So I'm going to reserve judgment on whether I'll support it. But I can tell you there are things that we can do.
Oh, baby John Brown over here.
Every American to
Services. Minneapolis, where George Floyd was killed, is dismantling its police department, and New York City is moving towards that as
well. The most wrong-headed move I've heard in a long time. And I'm going to make a prediction to you. If they truly defund, you're going to have worse trained officers with less equipment. You're going to have more increased crime rates.
What? Now, this is a key point, because he's calling for defunding the police when these white boys is running around with these guns. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But, you know, you can get a gun printed off the internet now, you know what I'm saying? And he's just telling you right now, if you defund the police, there's going to be more crimes. There's going to be more of this. There's going to be more of that. You know what I'm saying?
Officers are not going to want to serve. People who would be great police officers are no longer going to become police officers.
Now, I could play one more time him telling y'all to defund the police, but we've been too long. So which one, any one of y'all, you all want to say something about that?
He would like to defund the prosecution and consequences for white people that are dealing with the tyranny and terrorism that Black people have dealt with. He wants to defund the ability for white people to be governed by the police.
That's exactly what I would say. They want they don't want the police to be governed, but they want to. Me say they don't want white people to be governed, but they want us to be governed. But if they defund the police now, you say you don't know if it's true or not, but I'm telling you, it's true. You can 3D print you a gun. When you see them white militias, they walking around with homemade guns. So I'm telling you, it's true. And they can't be traced. The bullets can't be traced. They have the guns, have no serial number, no nothing. And that's what I'm saying. What I think they're being prepared this back to the first day, and I think we need to be ready for whatever. And I heard you mention the George Floyd bill. I'm gonna be honest, man. They ain't got to put no bill in it for me. The most honorable thing in the world is not to just let somebody kill you. Man, you don't need a bill. Ain't no piece of paper gonna stop them people from doing what they do. What you think if they write something down on a piece of paper, they gonna change who they are? They already wrote on a piece of paper said murder was against the law. Did they ever stop them from doing it? You
Well,
had the
Bakari,
protection. You think just because they put George for huh?
well, I'm sorry, Bakari. I'm just
Yeah.
saying they only passed the anti-lynching law like last year, so it was all good before that.
Yeah, and hypothetically, let's say they decide they catch one black person by himself and want to lynch him. Well, can that black person get that piece of paper and put around his neck and say, y'all can't lynch me because the bill here? No, man, we got to get off of this bullshit. Pardon my French, but goddamn, man, we ain't no little kids to them. We act like kids when it comes to them. We ain't no damn kids. You don't need no piece of paper to stop somebody from killing you. We act like some scary little kids who the stepdaddy whooped their ass more than they whoop everybody else's ass. So now you scared of the stepmama, don't like you. So now and you're scared to even speak around. And that's what we act like when it comes to them. Man, I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna continue to say it. If we change our mind, change our way of thinking, we'll change our situation. Even down back to like George Floyd. I remember they had his little daughter on a commercial on somebody's neck. And then they taught that little girl to say on that commercial, my daddy changed the world. I said they need to stop lying to that little girl. Your daddy didn't change no world. Y'all need to tell that little girl the truth. Them damn bigoted ass police kill your daddy, knee on his neck for 9 seconds. He ain't changed no world, and that ain't me taking no shot at George Floyd, but I'm just talking about our thinking and the stuff we let people get away with to us. So, some white woman, they done put some money up for George Floyd's daughter. If y'all truly cared about George Floyd's daughter and wanted them to have some damn money, why y'all wouldn't give them away them millions while George Floyd was living? Man, we got to change our damn thinking. But the defund the police is to make sure white people ain't policed. They're already under police, but they want to make sure they have no police. And they just continue to over police us out here, Mike.
Yeah, Tanzan.
Yes, the other thing I wanted to just add is this empty gestures both on the part of the politicians and on the part of the people. With the politicians, they come with this fake, concern. Oh yes, we feel bad about all this that's going on. We support the people. They came out with, those costumes. I just call them costumes because they're not really wearing, they're not wearing them for anything other than to just, put it on, take some pictures, and then go back to what they were doing. So all that is just symbolic. They want to just pacify the community and let everybody feel good for a while, or take out their anger, and then once everything is fizzled out, everybody goes back home. And then for the people as well, they also engage in empty gestures. They come, they protest. They're told, okay, we'll give you a day or a bill or something, and then they're like, okay, well, that's wonderful, we're fine, and nothing changes, and they go back. For me, what in terms of the police, the problem with the police has not been the funding. No black man who's shot in the street is like, oh, the police have too much money. Yeah, of course they do, but that's not the main problem. The problem that people have been asking and should demand is the punishment of the police. That's what, and it's not even punishments, it's simply justice, that no man should have, especially somebody who's given power, should just go and exercise their power in such a way. So defunding all of that, who even knows how much funds they get anyway? And if you defund them at a state level, they're simply going to get money from a different federal level or whatever. So what control do you really have over the funds? You are more interested in the person who's stalking you down the alley and shooting down young men for no reason at all. So those people should be punished for their actions. Defunding the police, yeah, that might be a nice slogan to say, but it doesn't really do what anybody was asking for. Yeah.
All right, so yo, real quick, before my brother Anthony Jones come on, cause it's one more thing, cause I gotta get especially Matron and Tanzan and Bakari opinion on one more thing, but I gotta let my brother Anthony Jones speak. But real quick, to what y'all was saying, I'm surprised none of y'all said, and I know y'all agree though, but I'm surprised none of y'all said, well, that's what he's supposed to say, you know. And notice this white boy ain't have to be like, you know, well, not all cops is bad, you know, well. Thank God my son got shot because now we can have justice in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to apologize for what he was saying. He was like, yo, I'm tired of what it is. You know what I'm saying? They need to do this. They need to do that. And guess what? They're using these apps, YouTube. They're using, you know what they will use? They use fan base if they could to politic and be like, yo, you know what? December 9th is going to be the next thing they talk about. You know what I'm saying? They can use all of that to manifest whatever they trying to do. And they use games, Call of Duty, especially with any kind of game, even 2K. They literally sit up there and politic on these games and they use it. Not all of them, but enough of them do. And they don't worry about the ones who's not with it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I had to say that real quick. Anthony Jones, yo, what's going on, my brother? I wish you would have joined us earlier, but yo, what you got to say about this before we get to the last thing?
Yeah, I'm good, family. How y'all doing?
Good, my brother. It's been a minute. I ain't talked to you for a while.
Good.
You spoke to me yesterday, man. Stop playing.
Yo, through the manifestation of Bakari.
Nah, remember I was on the chat last night.
You was?
I hear
Oh
Revolutionary
yeah, you
Bakari
was.
talking.
You was. Oh yeah, I'm
he came,
tripping.
what's going on, Shaka? He came on about 20 seconds
Right,
ago and
man.
kept breaking up.
Oh yeah. I forgot
I hear
about that.
Revolutionary Bakari talking, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
But listen, there's nothing I gotta say.
he got tired of Bakari sipping and left. I remember now.
I mean, this all boils down to education and historical context. You know what I'm saying? We lack historical context to understand who our enemies are, and the fact is that, you know what I'm saying, we haven't educated ourselves and our family and our kids into understanding what we got to do in order to take back control of this world. I mean, it's a process, but it's a process that we need to at least be trying to implement on a daily basis. Because basically, what I see right now, we just walking around in the daze, and it's sort of like fog, you know. I mean, like I was telling Makari the other day when we had our little talk or whatever,
Hey,
and I'm saying,
Anthony Jones, not to cut you off, but like we in the sunken
yeah,
place, and it's in the title. I'm sorry, I had to do that. It's in the title. Like we in the sunken place.
and we're beyond that. But I'm saying, I mean, if you study history, if we had studied history, like, you know what I'm saying, we had got the right historical context, we would have understood where we at, and everything all ties together, because, you know what I'm saying, this is just like a manifestation of something that has already happened. You know what I'm saying? But I just think, you know what I'm saying, the like-minded people just need to like organize, educate our families, educate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Try to stick together, try to run our communities, and try to just link up globally across the world. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, the only way we're gonna get through this is we gotta unite. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way.
Yo, all facts, all facts. And yo, real quick, because I took up way too much of learning curve time, Tanzan, Bakari. Yo, thank y'all so much. And thank you, my brother Anthony Jones, for coming on. And Tanzan gave me motivation earlier. We got to get back to those meetings, you know what I'm saying, and do the business that we've been talking about, you know what I'm saying? So thank you, Tanzan, for that. And it's ironic that we all on here right now to do that. So we're gonna link up off of here and learning curve, you know, everybody, Harsh Reality Podcast, Time to Work, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna put our ideologies to the side, Bakari, you know what I'm saying? and do the things that we got to do, and not to single you out, everybody, what I'm saying? We're going to put all of our, because, I'm spooked out too. I just don't tell y'all my spooked out stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm black too, you know what I'm saying? I got my spooked out ideologies, but I leave it at the door when we on here, you know what I'm saying? So, the last thing I'm going to show y'all is, because I showed this last time, and I just had to show everything that I was showing last time because they tried to carry me. So, the last thing I want y'all to hear this, and I want y'all opinion, especially Matron and Tanzan. And it may not mean nothing, but I find it kind of entertaining.
I had to make a reply to this comment real quick because
I'm sorry.
Her making that. I'm all for like telling our girls that they're beautiful and
Now, before this is a song that was a little black girl was like, a mom was singing to her daughter, I love, like a song about like how beautiful little black girls are. I love you and stuff like this. This all it was, singing to her daughter, you're beautiful and I love you, black queen type song, and this was her response.
Affirmations for them and making sure they know their worth and everything. But at the same time, can you imagine if we had a song that we were making videos to that said beautiful little white girls, and I'm just, am I the only one? I might be the only one. I don't know, but I'm just saying, it just seems a little hypocritical. Very questionable. And it's teaching our kids wrong. No matter what color you are, little girl, you're beautiful. Yep.
All right, so this is her response when people got at her.
Comment real quick because her making that video isn't necessarily what upset me. What kind of upset me, caught me off guard, was that it's so okay to, knowing that there are little white girls scrolling on this app, to sit here and post a video of that song to my beautiful little black girls.
Now, I always say, right, and I take every opportunity that I can, because white bitches, and I say white bitches not to offend nobody, but if all these people can get on here and call black women black bitches all day long, then you shouldn't have no reason why I can't call this little white bitch a white bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So I show this, and I take every opportunity. They're the most dangerous species in the world, and I feel like a lot of us is like hold them on the fence. You know what I mean? They just border on the fence, but she's letting it all out. She's telling you to shut up with that beautiful black girl stuff. Now I want you all to hear how she's telling y'all how race don't matter, but how you may offend little white girls, but this is what she's supposed to do at the same time.
Like I said before, all of our girls are beautiful, so it's really not. It's not necessary, and she can uplift her black daughter in private. Like, I'm not gonna.
And shut the hell up and uplift your daughter in private, but don't you dare do it in public.
Even if I'm in private, I'm not gonna sit here and tell my daughter, "Oh, your skin color is beautiful." Her skin color has nothing to do with who the hell she is, and your kids shouldn't either. Just saying.
All right, it's a particular John Brown that spoke here that said something interesting, and I think, Bakari, you will have something to say about what this John Brown said. This female John Brown is Jane Brown.
Is absolutely none of your business.
All right, I'm gonna let the ad play, and I'm gonna skip it, and this is it, and then I'm gonna let y'all speak, and then after that we're gonna close out.
For you teaching your child that all skin is beautiful is your business. But just know there is no singular culture attached to white skin outside of white supremacy.
Whoa. There's no thing outside of white supremacy that attaches them to this.
None of your business. However, you teaching your child that all skin is beautiful is your business. But just know there is no singular culture attached to white skin outside of white supremacy. because a long time ago, when this continent was colonized, the white people that are around today banded together and abandoned their cultures for the sake of whiteness.
One more time for this, you know what I'm saying? And make no mistake, don't you ever abandon your culture, but band together, because you know what? We don't have an emergency fund book for our loved ones. So that's enough for me to band together. Whether I don't care what my culture is or what your culture is, because if I could go to somebody else's job, like Learning Curve said, for 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? I could definitely work with any one of y'all if we trying to make sure. But you know, I don't want to be racist or nothing, but black supremacy, or at least in the very least, if we don't want to do that, because we got the two-sided God and our God love everybody, you know what I'm saying? At the very least, to be in control of my own destiny, whether I have to make sure that my water is good or not, because guess what? Nobody's gonna make sure my water is good anyway. So you know what?
I
I'd
just
rather,
want to,
yeah.
I just want to say something when you talk about, uh, the God that loves everybody and this, that, and the other. And they tell you that that's the words that they say, that's how they interpret it. But when you read the book and look at the relationships in the story that they were talking about, the God in the Bible only loves one branch of a particular family. And
Hey,
the
hey,
people,
Hey, no, I'm not to cut you off. I just have to ask you, who did, and just for conversation purposes, because you know that's what we got to say. Who did Jesus come for?
right? Jesus came for the Jews of Jacob
Oh
that
man,
were and the Jews that were wayward Jews, but that's who Jesus came for. Jesus didn't come for everybody, and they tell you that in the book.
Hey, you remember that story of Jesus with the lady from Canaan, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Jesus was walking, Jesus and his homeboys, they call them disciples. I call them Jesus homies. They was chilling. They was on their way to the corner store. And on their way to the corner store, that woman saw Jesus. That woman from Canaan, from the land of Canaan, saw Jesus and tried to get Jesus to help her. So Jesus was gangster. So Jesus ignored her. So then when Jesus went inside, his disciples, Jimmy Dale and all them, was standing outside of the Arab store saying that they blocked, right? So then the lady Canaan went to Jesus' homies and was like, look, man, y'all gonna have to help me. So they went inside and told Jesus, look, you got to help this woman. She getting on our damn nerves, ain't it? Jesus came back and Jesus told that woman, I come for the children of Israel alone. Why should I take food from an Israelite and give it to a dog? That's what he told that woman. So the woman had to accept that Jesus didn't come for her, and had to accept the fact that she was a dog. And because she told Jesus, well, but Jesus, even dog get the crumbs from the master plate. And Jesus said, well, since you got that much faith in me, I just heal your daughter.
man,
Exactly.
oh Lord,
Exactly. So that is not a God of everybody, a duality of God, this is that and the other. If you read the book and you read it the way a black man should read it, you'll get them stories the same way. They don't even like each other. It was a story I was reading the other day. The man had been turned out of the community because his mama wasn't one of their people. And then they went back to him and said, be our leader so we can go fight with our cousins because we're settled in their land. And he did. And because he went past the place of an emotional oath that they had made to each other, God made him sacrifice his daughter in that victory. And he had to kill her and offer her up to God as a burnt offering. So don't tell me that the God in that book is the God that is the God of creation, the God that I worship. That ain't it. These are stories and we need to interpret them better.
oh
Exactly.
Lord.
And then the Bible also tell you when you hear people talking about there's only one God. The Bible don't say that. Let's just go from the beginning. When the Bible say, let us, that's more than one person. Let us make them in our image. Our is at least two people talking. So then you can go on in one of them other books and he started talking and he said, well, the people over here, they worship, he was talking about the Egyptians, they worship this and they worship a woman. I forget what he called it, but they called him in the book. And he said, that's their God. These people over here, they burn incense and they worship this way, and that's their God. Then there was one more group of people. Now all these people they doing like these African cultures they're talking about, that's their God. And he said, but I am the God of the Jews. I'm your God, and I'm the most powerful God. The Bible don't say, see, but if you don't read none of it, it's hard to go against it but that is what the Bible don't speak of. The Bible does not speak of one God. The Bible, throughout that Bible, you can see where it's multiple gods in the Bible. Now, black people make God sound crazy because they say, well, in the beginning, he was talking to him. I said he was talking to himself. He was talking to Jesus. Jesus wouldn't exist, but he knew Jesus was coming. So he was talking to him. So he was talking to Jesus in the Holy Ghost. So it was a man, and a man. So shit, well, who did he make the woman look like? A woman got a breast. The woman give birth. The woman ain't like a man. You know, I'm just saying.
Yo, I understand what y'all saying, but all I'm saying is, who is saying, and look, Ida B. Wells was a Christian, and whatever helps you get to whatever you got to do. And I would say leave your ideology at the door. And I don't like going at black people ideology either, even though I agree with Matron. I'll let Matron handle that. You know what I'm saying? She's much more equipped for that kind of thing, But there is a reason why it's people that is Christians that'll come here and people that is whatever will come here, any kind of religion, because we all understand at the end of the day it's the same thing. And to kind of bring it back to the topic, because Tanzan was like, why I care, and this is mostly like what this white girl was saying about the thing, I kind of want to hear what y'all got to say, because like speaking of like putting your like ideologies at the door, and maybe she's wrong or right or whatever, but about them putting their stuff at the door. Listen to what she was saying.
Absolutely none of your business. However, you teaching your child that all skin is beautiful is your business. But just
the race thing and the supremacy thing, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of black people be like, yo, oh, you just believe in black supremacy, you know what I'm saying? Like, how is that not a cool statement? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my question, I don't think you should be in charge if you say something like that either. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of standards that I would have for a coon too. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I'm not as hard on them, but I got like crazy standards on it because like, yo, it's extreme, and I don't have no particular prejudice towards anybody, even, except for maybe myself, I guess, and y'all,
Hey,
no.
Yeah. Bakari? Oh no, Bakari fell off. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right, Bakari, y'all just speak when you come back on. So
hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. But
oh, I don't know what's wrong. I ain't connected. Look, but what I wanted to say was on what they was talking about, saying the black woman. They was mad because the black lady said her daughter was beautiful. Let me tell you something that happened to me. This is some years back, and this lady, she was absolutely beautiful, man. With glasses, everything about her was beautiful. And I said something to her, and I just told her how beautiful she was. Right then, we was talking. I was telling about how great black. This is a black woman, of course, and she looked well. Why ain't all women pretty? Why ain't she pretty? Why ain't she pretty? I'm like, because I ain't talking to them. They don't matter to me. I'm talking to you. And I'm talking about, well, you should say all women. I said, don't worry about it. I just told her, I take my compliment back. You ain't even as pretty as you, you're not as pretty as you initially looked with the way you're speaking to me. So when I said I take my compliment back, I leave out the store and she waited on me. And she waited to hold a conversation with me and tried to give me a phone number. I'm like, I don't even want to talk to you. No. Keep your number. Keep your number. Because you have a problem with a black man appreciating black women, telling them how beautiful they are, trying to talk to you, because I didn't say nothing to the other women, to the Mexican woman, and to the white women that was in the store. You had a problem with me. I don't want to deal with you, and I meant that. So now keep your number. Don't say nothing else. No, don't say nothing to me. We good. We all right. And I mean, but we had that same mindset because she literally had a problem with me saying she was beautiful and uplifting black women without mentioning the white women that was in the store and that Mexican woman that was in the store. And I just thought that was crazy, man.
Yeah, because you know God is a two-sided God who loves all the people. Peace to all the guys of the earth. All right, yo, let me play this last 20 seconds, and then there's the last thing I'm gonna show is like 30 seconds. So let me play this last one so y'all can get up out of here, because I want to hear this.
There is no singular culture attached to white skin outside of white supremacy, because a long time ago, when this continent was colonized, the white people that are around today banded together and abandoned their cultures for the sake of whiteness. So if you're telling your child to be proud of her white skin, you are telling her to be proud of white supremacy, because that is the only thing tied to white skin itself. The reason you're feeling so victimized in the face of a black mother telling her black child to be proud of her skin is because you think attention is like a pie. And if a black mother is praising her
All right, we don't need all her extra other stuff, but yeah, it was the pretty much the they gave up their ties for white supremacy, and you know, pretty much blah blah blah. They banded together under whiteness to gain control, and that was what I wanted y'all to comment on. And then this last quick second video, I'm pretty sure y'all seen it with the mother and the kid. You know,
Moms be like, no, no.
Las dos muñecas lindas de Ori.
Las que están allí.
¿Y cuáles que están allí?
Las que yo tengo allí guardadas.
¿Y cuáles son esas? Estas son las de ella.
Espérate, yo le voy a
Que se
buscar
parecen
una.
a ella.
Mire,
This is the doll that I got her.
Mira la cara, mira cómo ella los cachetes, mira.
Ella no le gusta esa muñeca. No le gusta. No le gusta.
Ella sí le gusta.
Ten, Ori. Ori, ten. Ori. Ori.
all right, so y'all seen that already, and I'm gonna stop it here because I'm gonna not be hard on the coon right now, and yeah, Bakari dropped off, but okay, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. But yeah, I just wanted to show that because it stemmed in, and it just happened to be ironic at the time that yo, peace to you, Raw. But it just happened to be at the time where you know, this is going on. You know what I'm saying? Whether oh yeah, this white girl asked you know, why I saying this to her, and then we see like us failing a black doll test. But Matron, Tanzan, Anthony,
Yeah, when Brother Bakari was talking about the lady with the beauty standards, the beauty standards for black women is like the N word for black men. They will defend it to against their own self-interest. Like you'll have isn't it? Firstly, you know, black women they'll be in a room and then they'll find the light child or the mixed child and say, oh, they're so pretty and all that. You'd never see them fawn over a black child the way they fawn over, you know, some lighter or white child. They're like, oh, look at that, the hair, blah blah blah. So when you see, you know, black children see that, what are they supposed to think? That they're somehow, you know, less than? And then with this compliment thing, that's why I say only. I don't say fast or whatever. I say only because let's say a man says, oh, I like black women fast. Okay, yeah, that's okay, but you also like, you know, the Mexican second or the Chinese, whatever. You have your second and third. But if a black man says, I love black women only, do you know the kinds of, you know, attack you'll get, not just from black men, but from black women, from mixed women, from white women? Oh, how can you say that? But if a black man says, I only date white women, that's it. You know, he'll be attacked maybe, oh, you don't love yourself and all that. But no, you wouldn't come, you know, black women wouldn't say, oh, you don't find us pretty and all that. They'll just be, oh, you don't accept your people. So if somebody just says, oh, they're fast, that's just their idea. That just be their first choice. It should be your only choice. So when you see, oh, you know, if a black man expresses any love for black women, he has to include all the other women there, whether they're there or not. If someone finds him and say, oh no, you can't be racist for only liking a particular group, and yet everyone accepts that some black men will prefer white women, you know, some black men will prefer, you know, a certain kind of women. That's acceptable. But for a black man to only want to date his own women, oh man, something's wrong with you, you know. and nobody sees that as something, weird or strange. But you have to include everybody in that, compliment. If you come into a room, you can't just say, oh, the black women are looking good, all women are beautiful. No, at that point we're all women somehow. But when it comes to, the discrimination and all that, suddenly, oh, they don't know anything about it. And then this thing about having, comparing, oh, we don't have this person. It's like the people who saying, well, why do black people have Black History Month? Well, because every other month the default is white. Everything default is white. So when you actually go out of your way to point it out, then that makes you, calling it the racism out loud, whereas we know that it just exists. But when somebody goes to say, oh, well, white lives matter as well, that's the dog whistle for I'm just a racist, because everybody understands the default. You don't have to say, when you say Americans, everybody knows who you mean. You have to add something American to be specific about, the rest of the people. So when they cry about, well, why aren't we being included, blah, 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 because you're already always included. You're the ones who do the including or the excluding and all that. So, that's just some white crap that they always cry about. If they see, somebody getting even a crumb of anything, whether it's recognition or money or anything, they'll just be like, oh, why don't we get that one as well? They have to be, they think that they're God, that they have to be everywhere all at once. Like you can't just be in your own room, just be, a group of just Black African people hanging out talking without one of them picking in their, their sharp noses and trying to find out what's up there. So with the beauty thing, they can't let a compliment be just for Black women. No, they have to get in on that. But if you say, oh, white women so pretty, you won't find Black women saying, well, what about us? What about us? So that's just the entitlement. And then when I said this, it's like the N word, it's the same thing that Black men do. They can call each other the N word with aggression all day, but they just let other people use it. Or sometimes I've even had them use it with Black men too. Hey, UN, like this and that. Like everybody's just free to use it without any, correction or any gatekeeping or any rules and all that. So for them, they also want to include everybody in the the N-word usage, and it's not helping them at all. Just the same way with the, Black women wanting to include everyone in the beauty, when it's not even helping them at all. It's putting themselves down and lifting other people up, and yet you want to include everybody. So that's my take.
Yeah, and really quick, Tanzan, what do you think about what that white girl said about the only tie of with white skin is white supremacy, and they gave up their identity for the culture of whiteness or whatever she's trying to say?
Well, yeah, that's part of their nonsense. That's a sacrifice that they did for themselves. They sacrificed their culture for their race because they knew that there was more power in the race than in their stupid, empty cultures. So, that's with the same thing as saying, oh, why don't we get a day of our own? Well, you sacrificed your culture for your whiteness. You didn't sacrifice it for humanity or for blackness or for anything like that. So, with that one, that's an argument that I don't even care to to tackle. It's like saying, oh well, we Africans, we had to move around Africa in order to get our languages. It doesn't apply, because of course the system, the standard, whether you say it or not, is still white. It's not supremacy, it's simply exploitation. It's white exploitation. So talking about oh, we see, it's just a few people who are associated with this whiteness, the rest of us are not culpable. That's also another way of distancing themselves from their sins. Yeah, of course you're culpable. It's not you're the ones who made the rules, but now you're trying to distance yourself from the rules. So no.
Yeah, facts. Revolutionary matron.
So I'm going to talk about the doll first, and then I'll come back and talk about the two sides of white fragility that you just saw. The the white doll was hard, technologically more advanced than the stuffed animal doll that she wanted to give to her child, and was being offered by her grandmother. And it shows a sickness that is prevalent in our people, because that grandmother wanted the child to have a preference for the white doll with the blonde hair that has a texture she can probably never achieve and features that she will never have. And the mother is sitting there letting her mom hold on to her baby and give her these sick, twisted ideas. And that's a mental illness on the part of our people. Now, when you saw those two white women talking back and forth, you saw the Jane Brown and the other one that was talking about why can all our
Jane
kids are
Brown.
beautiful. Yeah, Jane Brown and all our kids are beautiful. That's two sides of the same coin called white fragility, because the one was actually being honest, saying, I don't like the fact that you black people are publicly showing adoration for your children and saying that your black girls are beautiful. They actually have a deep subconscious understanding of the fact that our children look better than they do. And that's why they force this unrealistic beauty standard on us, trying to brainwash us every single day through all the media, trying to get us to think that we're not beautiful. And then the other one who wanted to come in and talk about, white supremacy is their culture and things like that. That's that has some truth to it, but it's not actually genuine, because an American person that is white is going to say, I'm Irish American, I'm Polish American, I'm Italian American, I'm whatever, whatever. They attach and bring forward their culture to the whiteness that they have, because to be an American is to be white. They brought their poor European peasant cousins over here and they exploited black people in an attempt to get wealth and resources, and they continue to flood our shores with them, which is why the FBA movement that talks about they don't want any more black immigrants coming in here is stupid when you know the history of this country, because they have already told you that they flooded the shores with Afghanis who uh what was his name from Fox News? Tucker Carlson told us the Afghanis are just white guys with beards, and the ones that they brought over here were the ones that were helping the Americans. The Ukrainians are white people, and they sat up there shedding juicy white tears, talking about how could they do this to us, and this is happening to us, and it was just such a problem to see this happening to white people. So, and those people are already in Alaska, and they're coming for the mainland soon. So they are already telling us we're not going to stop bringing white people into the country. You can stop them from bringing. You can complain and try to make it an issue, and they stop bringing black and brown people, or specifically black people, into the country. They already have a co-opted consciousness when they get here, but we have an opportunity to build something and maybe do some work with those people. But they are already telling us they're not going to stop bringing white people in. Their birth numbers are low. They want to maintain dominance and control. And if we don't have the heart, then we will be led by a foreigner, because something else that we don't talk enough about is that Donald Trump was really just a German, because his family was from Germany and he has ties to the Duncan Hines family in his lineage. So they came over from Germany and they said that he was from Sweden and all this other stuff, and they made up a story about but he and his people are from Germany. They were immigrants too. His family has not been in this country as long as most black people's families. So they're going to keep bringing in white replacements. So don't tell me that it's a problem with them bringing in black people. And, those white people are going to continue to shed their white tears and argue about what the history is and this, that, and the other. But it's all for show. They both are attention whores. Both of those white women are two sides of the same coin called white fragility. Thank you. And I'm gonna release the mic.
Damn. Yo, that's the revolutionary matron, Anthony Jones. You hear Tanzan and the revolutionary matron? Like, yo, they the truth. Anthony Jones.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, real fast because I'm working right now. But listen, like I said, man, if you go and educate your kids, I ain't had no problem with the sister did, but I mean, she ain't had to put it on social media. You know what I'm saying? And you should, when you educate your kids, you gotta start educating them from a baby. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till they like 7, 8 years old and start telling them how they're beautiful. You're supposed to be telling them all that in the womb and stuff like that. see, we keep failing our kids, you know what I'm saying? And I really despise that we keep failing the next generation after the next generation, because we not educating our kids with a proper intentionality. You know what I'm saying? First thing we gotta do is educate them from as far as their history, and give them always give them a historical context on what they need to do. You know?
Yo, my brother. Yo, if you come back, you can go ahead and speak. Yo, Bakari, before you go, I don't know if you back or not. But before you go, I gotta say this, you know what I'm saying? Because I said earlier, and both of them actually got up on here, you know what I'm saying? Two people who I took you know what I'm saying, quotes from, who I've learned from, and the third person who adds into it, you know what I'm saying? My brother Anthony Jones said, you know what I'm saying, we are the only group of people who've been enslaved twice in 1,000 year span, you know what I'm saying? And well, we have been enslaved twice in 1,000 year span, and then Bakari adds in 3 times. Yeah. So you know he got to add it in. So Bakari adds in the 3 times. And then the revolutionary matron, she said, yo, we put aside our tribal differences to go to a 9 to 5 job to make somebody else whose job is to keep us in this position, and we see they respond with more urgency than we do. And we put aside our differences to go like whatever it is that you do for a living, you know what I'm saying? Go fold boxes, you know what I'm saying? And we would not ask each other, yo, do you believe in Pan-Africanism or not? You're gonna be like, yo, do you got the glue so I can put this you know, box together? You know what I'm saying? We put aside our differences, and both of them came on this panel tonight, and this was a straight legendary thing. So go ahead, Bakari, before we give our closing stuff. And Anthony Jones, if you listen and come back, brother.
You know what? I had tuned down for a second, and I heard Matron talking about the old DJT and where he from. But I'm gonna tell you something right
Hey,
now.
before you go, Bakari, did you see what I showed?
No, man, I thought I was listening to it. I was on my phone. I thought I was listening to it, but my phone had switched. I'm like, who the hell is this? And when I looked, it wasn't your channel.
Yo, Bakari, first of all,
The last thing I saw was the talking about the white girl getting mad because the black woman teasing her
yeah.
child. She beautiful.
Yeah, yo, and there's is one thing I'm gonna let you comment on, and after you comment, I'm gonna play one part for you because there's one part I want you to comment on. It's like 20 seconds, but yo, also I showed the video with the did you see that video with the lady trying to give her daughter the black doll, and the grandma was like with the white doll and stuff.
You stopped it. You said because you ain't want to say nothing about the coon.
Yeah, so you did see it. Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry.
Now you good. I heard her talking about I want this. You know, we need to make this country wherever we are. It need to be as chocolate as possible. We need more numbers, and I ain't talking about numbers where people talking about white folks finna be the minority because you're grouping yourself with everybody else. No, we need this country wherever we at. We need more Africa. We ain't in Africa. We need as many African people as possible to come to wherever we are to strengthen our numbers. Because one thing that Donald Trump said, right? He wanted good immigrants coming here, like from Norway or Sweden or some bullshit like that. You know, he's a Nazi. I'm not sure that his family was a Nazi. That's what I call him. Think about this. Uh, when Anna, think about this. This country had Arnold Schwarzenegger as the governor of a country, and if he could have run for president, what they say he could have won president. They believe, right? But and everybody, he's a known Nazi. He was raised Nazi. His daddy was literally part of the Nazi, and he was a governor in the state of California. And they was talking about how but we are arguing, but we got people over here who's following these fake ass leaders calling themselves Foundation of Black America, Americans descending of slavery, Aboriginal, calling themselves everything except that, you know, that's the I ain't African, you know, the I ain't African starter pack used to be the Hebrew Israelite. But now, man, it's a whole lot of stuff. It's a whole lot of things you can choose to start your I ain't African. You can get the Hebrew Israelite, You can get the Moors, some of the Moors. You can get the Aboriginal. You can get the FBA. You can get the ADOS. There's a whole lot. The I Ain't African Starter Pack where they hate and they have a problems with other black people coming here. I want if 50 million more black people can get here. I want 50 million more strong black people to come to this country instead of us arguing saying they shouldn't be here. They ain't taking nothing from us. But they never say nothing. Those same people never complain about those people from Sweden. They don't complain about the people from Bosnia. I already told, forecast. I showed what my daddy did, right? So did you know, like right now, Howard University was given to anybody from Ukraine that make it here and want to go to college, they come get tuition free at Howard University, right? So when they got that money, something my daddy wouldn't have agreed on, but he wasn't here. They say the school had to have a certain percent of white people. You know, Alcorn State, you know where those white people came from? When they had that Bosnian war over there in this country, brought all them white people from Bosnia, they were going to HBCUs in Mississippi for free. And on top of going to college for free, they couldn't get a job. Don't care what state they was in, making less than $20 an hour. I know this about the jobs because I used to work with some of them. This back in the mid-90s, they couldn't make less than $20 an hour. All of them got at least 3 credit cards with a $10,000 credit limit that they didn't have to pay back, didn't have to make a payment for 5 years on none of them. You understand? They got somewhere to stay rent free for 3 years. And all of them got a minimum. At least everyone that came, got a family that came and got at least $20,000 in cash after all that other stuff. And you think I'm going to argue about some black people coming here and some black people benefiting from this country? No, that won't ever happen when I see what they have done for these other folks. I ain't gonna ever argue. If whatever benefit they get when they come here, I'm glad they get the benefit. But when they come, they need to have a Pan African mindset. They need to have a want to work with black people mindset. So we can work together and start to build communities. And that's my take. And I'll yield the mic, man. And I'm gonna listen.
And,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and no, because I just want, because it went with that, yo. Just 30 seconds and fast as you can. You know what I'm saying? To what she's saying about them putting their white supremacy, or whatever.
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, my bad, y'all.
And it's low.
It's in my headphones. That's why. Thanks, learning curve. She already on it though. All right.
Just know there is no singular culture attached to white skin outside of white supremacy. Because a long time ago, when this continent was colonized, the white people that are around today banded together and abandoned their cultures for the sake of whiteness. So if you're telling your child to be proud of her white skin, you are telling her to be proud of white supremacy, because that is the only thing tied to white skin itself.
All right. So, yo, that's the last thing. So, what's your closing statements? Do you have anything to say about that?
She's ugly and dumb, but she'll find a black man that want her because of what she just said. Some of the statements she said is true and false at the same time. When I say false, it was false because even here, those people, some of them, they would say, I'm Scottish or I'm Irish or I'm this or I'm that. So they did in that sense, but on the strength of being white, they would still come together and look out for one another on the strength of being white. So that make her statement like true and false. But I don't need, she sounds slow. She sounds really dumb. And, she need to shut the hell up. But she'll find some black man who want her, I guess. But them talking about white supremacy. I looked up me and my son had this conversation. I looked up the definition of white supremacy because I'm like, I hear black people saying it, and black people have really put in black people's mind because they say it so much, but they've made white people supreme. So I'm not gonna complain about white people mindset. My thing is, because when we're in the black neighborhood, You know what? Don't see many white people. I see Arab supremacy and Asian and Oriental supremacy. I see East Indian supremacy because I see everybody seeing themselves better than black people. But what I don't see is black supremacy because we don't see ourselves better than nobody. I see black people, what I call reverse racism or reverse bigotry. So can I say reverse black supremacy? Yes, because I see black people working hard and trying hard to be better than other black people, while everybody else constantly dominate them. So, but I'm a black supremacist because I believe we better than everybody on earth, and that's what I believe in, and that's the only way we change our mind. We gonna change our condition. And on that, my man, I yield the mic.
All right, yo, peace to all the guys in the earth, my brother Bakari. Thanks for coming on, my brother. I appreciate you for coming on here. Yo, Bakari, and y'all don't have to answer this, but I'm gonna ask all of y'all. But what I want to ask y'all is, are we in the yes or no? Are we in the sunken place? And if you want to answer, how can we get out if you say yes? But you don't have to answer that because we've been on here way too long.
Yes, we in a sunken place. How do we get out? Change our mind and start to organize. That's how we get out. We are united in a certain sense. We are united, but want to get out of that sunken place, change our thinking, and start to organize. We'll get out of that sunken place.
Yeah, and Bakari is the brother at the end of the movie who had the chance to choke the white girl out, and then when she looked at him, he let her go. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm joking.
I'm the one that beat in the head with the bat.
I won't nobody in the movie that beat no white girl in the head with a bat, so or plant or that
Oh,
many
I'm
movies
sorry.
at all.
He stumped he stumped them out. He killed them all. He killed them all. He stumped them out.
Oh, okay. He hit her.
I don't know if he hit him with no bat, but
Oh, the
that's what
mama.
I
He
would have done.
killed. Yo, he killed the moms. Yeah, he killed the moms. Okay, Bakari, you get a pass. You killed the mom, but you let the girl who set you up go, so you get a pass. Learning curve. Yo, you are a genius. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I like your perspective all the time, and I'm glad every time I get to hear you. I'm sorry, you and Tanzan and Bakari, we've been on here for so long, but it was a lot of good information from the beginning to the end. So I want to thank both of y'all. Learning curve. Yeah, you got any last words?
Yes, we are in the sunken place. And we get out of the sunken place by, first of all, looking in the mirror and deciding that that person is the first person we are going to radically love. We're going to love the hell out of the person in the mirror first. And if you can look in the mirror and start seeing a friend and start seeing love, then you'll be able to reflect that back onto all the other Black people you come across. You can love the hell out of them past their ideologies. You can love the hell out of them past their snideness, because you have to recognize that the provision is not just within you, but it's within the other Black people that you can come in contact with. And that's all I got to say on that.
Yep, all facts, all facts. And I gotta thank you, Tanzan, because you gave me motivation earlier. You know what I'm saying? I want to say that we're gonna get back on these meetings. I'll save that for my closing. But yeah, absolutely. So I want to thank you, Tanzan, and you absolutely right, because you also said another thing that I'm gonna steal too. We's all about talking, and we are not about action. And I'm paraphrasing. You said it a lot more eloquently than I said it. But yeah, thank you, Tanzan. So yeah, you got last words?
Yeah. Thank you too, for that, because it's an of effort. It's a joint effort. We are supposed to. I would say, from my understanding of the film, that we are not in a sunken place, but we're in a sinking place. The difference for me is that there's there's levels, but the full awareness is when you know and you're free. But I think the most we can know now is to know and to plow towards freedom. When I say a sinking place, the sunken place is where you fully know, but you are helpless to do anything about it. The enormity of the situation falls on you, and you almost feel crushed by it. You're like, you see, well, oh, there is no hope. You're just done. Everywhere around you is dark, and there's no light, and the light is slowly receding upwards, and you're falling into darkness. I don't think that we are there yet. We are edging closer and closer to it, because for me, the sunken place is a place where, you can't get out of. I don't think that it's impossible. Maybe many of us are there mentally, but I still think that we can get out of it, because if we really were aware of the full reality of it, I think most of us, a lot more people will try to fight it. But we're sort of in the purgatory between, the light and the sinking place. So we're slowly, being sucked down, but we're not really realizing it. And then for most of us, when we realize it, when we get to the sunken place, then it's too late. And then either we are fully defeated mentally, or we're just destroyed physically. So yes, that's my take on it. And yes, and the last thing I would say is, they're going to be them. I'm never surprised or shocked or anything about what they say with their silly voices, but they're going to do them. If you see a snake, is going to be a snake. A bear, a wolf, they're going to be their nature. But what are you going to do? What are we going to do as people? You can't test the snake several times to test if it's really poisonous. At one point, you have to say, I'm either going to do something about the snake, or I'm going to leave this vicinity or something. You have to decide what you want to do. So I think we as people, while we study them and we see their methods, we really shouldn't be surprised by what they do anymore. What we should be doing is, how do we react, or in fact, in the future, how do we act proactively instead of just waiting for things to be done to us. So yes, that's my take for today. Thank you so much, Focused. Thank you, Mayton and Brother Bakari, who was here earlier. It's always an honor and a pleasure to speak with all of you.
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, Matron.
No, I was just going to say thank you for having me. Thank you, Tanzan and Brother Bakari and Anthony Johnson. I appreciate you guys letting me onto your stages and talking with you, because I think we get to better solutions and better actions when we all talk together. So thank you.
Yes, facts. And y'all bring so much information and things that I don't know. I know I learn every time that I talk to y'all. In Tanzania, that was a deep thing. We are in the sinking place, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? We here to be that flash camera for y'all, you know what I'm saying? And maybe we got to flash ourselves, But, at the same time, we have the ability to create everything that we want to create, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta say this because Tanzan gave me newly found inspiration, and I did a thing for Alabama. I said to the end of the month before I give the people their money back, and I did it because I was influenced. Like, yo, the people like, yo, you just talking and don't do anything, and that's absolutely true. And then when I talked about this story, and then me and Bakari talked. And he was like, yo, we really do got to help these people down there. So I'm like, yo, okay, yeah, we could try, And so I said, what harm could it do? Let me at least try to do this, And maybe I didn't think it all the way through or whatever, but I am glad that I did it. And we do need to have more and I need to plan better and stuff like that, and be more organized and be more mature and stuff like that. And that's true, And but I'm glad that I did do it, and maybe Tanzan is right. I could have done way better and done way more things, but also I know that it's time. And even still, even when you do this, you see like the truth about who's real and who's not, and who's down with whatever and who's not, So we definitely gotta if we really want to be have self-autonomy, then we got to take the responsibility that it comes with. And that includes being responsible for how we feed ourselves, how you dispose of your feces. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to be independent and be a separate nation? You know that part of being that is you're going to have a conversation about how to dispose of your own feces. And like, we get away from reality. Real life is real life, And I want to say that we're gonna have we're gonna have another meeting. You know, I want to do something for Erica Howard, you know what I'm saying? But and I was gonna have another meeting, and she organized a lot of this stuff. That's why I shot her out. She take all the notes and everything for the meetings, and you know, me and Bakari got to get better with that too, you know. So we're gonna get back to having these meetings, and we're gonna have the real discussions offline. And I say these meetings that we have, you have to show your face, because that's not a place for trolls or nothing like that, or anybody trying to start nothing. And it's all love. And we're gonna eventually meet in person, and we talk about building money for each other, building money for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And also helping our community, supporting Black businesses. Somebody recommended Black businesses. We support that. Then we have some like with my sister Blue, who got to come around and meet y'all. You know, she said like the birthday challenge, where whoever birthday it is, you know, we all put in $5, and the person who birthday it is, they get the pot or whatever, you know. So we can all do these kind of things to help each other. Then have emergency funds for with situations like Erica, so we can make sure we can pay our stuff. Like, this is real life, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff is not talked about. You talk about it, you do talk about it, but it's not like, yo, like even in religion, faith without works is dead, you know what I'm saying? So as my last words, I know I already said a lot for my last words, but let me show my last screen for my last words for this last, it's only a minute, but as my last words, I'm gonna let Jennifer Lewis give y'all my last words.
I just got back from Flint. Yeah, that Flint. I saw that dirty water with my own eyes. But not to my surprise, Governor Snyder, you're not much of a provider, 'cause Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. The children up there are sick. The lead in the water is thick. Flint ain't fixed.
All right, so you know, thank all of y'all. Shouts out to Learning Curve. She is live. Y'all subscribe to her channel. I'll put it in the chat. She's live Mondays at 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock West Coast time. I guess that's 6 o'clock Central time. Y'all subscribe to her channel. Tanzan live on Tuesdays, 6 o'clock now. Tanzan, Amani. I don't know what Bai is, but Amani to everybody. 6 o'clock East Coast time now.
And Umoja is unity.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock Tuesdays on East Coast. 3 o'clock on West Coast time, right, Tanzan?
Yes. I'll just do Eastern because I guess everybody's Eastern. So it's 2 p.m. Sorry, 5 p.m. Eastern. And the Swahili one is that one. I'm sure I'll catch on you later, but it's a 4 a.m. Eastern on Saturday.
Okay, yeah. That might be a little bit tough.
I know. That one is
Nah.
most for the EA time, which is 11 a.m. over there for East Africa. But
Yeah.
that's on Saturday. But if you wake up early on Saturday, you might just catch me later. It depends on how long it goes. But it starts at 4, and the last time we were there at 4 a.m., we were there until say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, around maybe 9 or 10 a.m. Eastern. But the Tuesday one, that's the regular one, that's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So y'all subscribe to Tanzan. Y'all subscribe to Learning Curve. Me, Bakari, MD2. We all wild cards. Bitter Medicine Podcast. He is up every Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock West Coast time. Only he's on in the mornings. I gotta get his schedule right, but I know he's on in the mornings. So y'all subscribe to everybody's channel. Go ahead, Matron.
I was just gonna say, Oni's regular show, The Enemies Within, is Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay. Sunday, 11 o'clock Eastern time. And shouts out to Ben, Zone 103. I got a shouts out to you, Ben. I'm gonna email you for your cash out. Ben is trying to build another YouTube for Black people, you know, so we don't get censored, so we don't gotta redo those shows over and over and over. So thank y'all. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.